Live gikan sa Bukirang Barangay sa Kasili sa Konsolasyon sa Amihanang Subo kini si Leo Lastimosa. Magpasalamat nga sa makausap padayon sa inyong tagsa-tagsa ka mga Pinoy-anan. Karong buntaga atong hisgutan ang tulo ka mga kasong ipasaka batok ni suspended Governor Gwen Garcia. Ipa-disqualify siya gikan siyang kandidatura sa pagkagobernador sa probinsya sa Subo kay gipasangila siyang namakak sa iyang sertifiko di kandidatura. Gipasangilan sab siya nga nakalapas sa balaod sa iyang pag-isnab sa suspension order na gipahantang sa buhatan sa ombudsman o gipasangilan sab siya na digamit sa Kapitulyo para siyang pagpangampanya sa re-election pagka-gobernador pinagi sa paggamit sa Sugbo News isip iyang TikTok team o isip tig paukyab sa iyang kandidatura. Ato nang isgutan karong buntaga. Karong buntaga sa batong isgutan ang pagkapili sa bagong Santo Papa o nga nakaduaw dahil siya sa Subo sa wa pa siya mahimong kardinal. Isip pangu sa mga paring Agustino dinhi sa Subo. In fact, diha siya makaduaw siyudad sa Talisay. Duol kay sa Pinoy-anan ni classmate Yul Julia sa siyudad sa Talisay sa habagatang Subo. Atong ila-ilahon ang bagong Santo Papa sa Simbahang Katoliko, unsa may iyang direksyon sa iyang liderato, unsa mga timaan sa iyang kalidad sa pagduma sa Simbahang Katoliko sa mosunod nga katuigan. Isgutan sa nato karong butaga ang latest nga survey sa social weather stations. And I think mauna ni katapusan nga survey sa dili pa mag-eleksyon karong Lunes, Mayo 12, ang social weather stations survey, latest survey nagpakita nga naapsan ni Erwin Tulfo. Iyang naapsan si Bongo. Number 2 si Bongo, number 1 si Erwin Tulfo. Nakasud na sa Magic 12 si Senador Amy Marcos. Natagak sa Magic 12 si Senador Bam Aquino o kani Senador Kiko Pangilinan. Nisaka ang ranking ni Kongresista Camille Villar. So nilihok na ang makinarya sa mga Marcos o sa mga Villar o ingon man makinarya sa administrasyon. Ang 11 kamada sa mga senatorial candidates, mas bag-o ni karon na ning Mayo gipahigayon ang survey sa social weather stations samtang katong mga surveys nga atong gi-feature sa Okta o sa Pulse Asia gihimo to sa katapusang dayong tapos sa buwan sa Abril. So mas bag-o ni ang survey sa social weather stations. Dayon na yung eleksyon sa Mayo 12, 2025. And of course, ang atong mga viewers' views, ang labing importanteng bahin sa itong programa kay mauni ang inyong baruganan. O nag-restream ko karong buntag tungod sa possibility wa gid may magkasulti si kanhi Mayor Tommy Osmeña, pero nakasulti ko sa iyang staff nga posibleng available si kanhi Mayor Tommy Osmeña karong buntag. So anytime mahimo silang makasud ug ato isalot sa atong programa mao nang nag-restream na lang kudaan kay maura maning paagiha, maura ni ang platform nga maka-accommodate og guests. Actually magsabot unya ta mahimo ra gyud mo interact dinhi sa atong programa. Pinaagi aning link sa restream nga mo enable ninyo sa paggamit lang sa inyo dihang webcam ug pagsulti dinhi sa atong programa. Kung ganahan mo nga mo appeal, mo participate sa atong programa. Magsugod ta pinami sa hatag sa barabana sa kahimtang sa panahon. Pinag ni retired Pag-asa Vice Director Oscar Tabada, east release, init nga hangin gikan sa Pacific Ocean, mo'y mudominar sa atong kahimtang sa panahon din sa syudad ug sa probinsya sa Subo, ingon man sa atong silingang probinsya sa Bohol, ingon man sa brand new nga rehiyon, ang Negros Island Region, nga nakalakip sa Siquijor, Negros Oriental ug Negros Occidental, ingon man sa atong silingan nga mga probinsya sa Eastern Visayas, ang Leyte, Southern Leyte, Biliran, Samar, Northern Samar ug Eastern Samar. Ingon man ang atong silingan nga mga probinsya sa Western Visayas naglakip sa Iloilo, sa Guimaras, Capiz, Antique, Aklan. Ingon man sa tibuok Mindanao, parihag kahimtang sa panahon nato ang siyudad Surigao ug ang siyudad sa Davao, ang siyudad sa Cotabato ug ang siyudad sa Cagayan de Oro, gikan sa Buanga padungad tos Oroquita pariha ug kahimtang sa panahon nato ang tibuok Kamindanawan. Parehas sa kahimtang sa panahon nato ang tibuok Metro Manila ug ang tibuok Luzon. Apil na ang West Philippine Sea nga may nahimutangan sa Pag-asa Island nga may itong gipapuy-an sa atong mga sibilyan o mga sakop sa kasundaluhan aron sa pagpanalipod sa atong pagpanag-iya sa West Philippine Sea, kabahin na sa atong exclusive economic zone ug busa atong payungan sa atong nasunong soberenya atong madlungon ang China nga gusto gyud mangilog sa dakong bahin sa itong nasudong teritoryo. In fact, ang West Philippine Sea mas dako pa sa total land area sa Pilipinas karon. Unsa ito mapaabot nga kahimtang sa panahon karong adlaw, Biyernes, Mayo 9, 2025, sigon ni retired Pag-asa Vice Director Oscar Tabada, hayag ka ita karong butang mo pakita ng adlaw karong butang pertinente inita ug alimuota karong hapon, mapanganuron ta karong gabi. Atong chance of rain karong adlaw gamay ra 20%. Ang atong temperatura parte taas sa 26 to 33 degrees Celsius, atong heat index parte pag yung taas sa 40 degrees Celsius atong mapaabot. Sugod alas 12 karong udto hangtod alas 4 karong hapon. Doon tay hinay nga huros sa hangin gikan sa east-northeast sa gikusgon na 10 to 15 kilometers per hour. O hinungdan nga slight to moderate atong coastal waters, luwas sa gagmay nga mga sakayan. Unsa atong mapaabot nga kahimtang sa panahon ugma Sabado, Palagdas Day, Mayo 10, 2025. Doon natay mapanganuron nga kabuntagon ugma pero mopakita ang adlaw ug perti gihapon natong inita ug limuta ugma sa hapon. Doon na say nipis nga panganon ugma sa gabi. Mas gamay pa gyud atong kahigayonon sa uwan ugma 15%, 15% ra. Ang atong temperatura magpabiling perting taasa 26 to 33 degrees Celsius, ang heat index makapahilanat kining temperatura 40 degrees Celsius atong mabatigan sugod alauna hangtod alas 3 ugma sa hapon. Dunay hinay nga huros sa hangin gikan sa east-northeast 10 to 15 kilometers per hour. O hinungdan nga slight to moderate atong coastal waters. Nagkasalamat, retired Pag-asa Vice Director Oscar Tabada sa imong makugihon nga pagtukaw o pagtuon o mapailubon nga pagpasabot sa atong kahimtang sa panahon. Kung sa aktual nga kahimtang sa panahon sa tagsa ka mga lugar, palihog ipadangat diya sa atong comment box aron nga atong masumpay ining latest weather forecast sa Pag-asa ug aron man ato sang mapalapdan pa ang atong pag-aninaw sa palibot. Sigon ni Engineer Catalino Lucero Davis, kay retired Deputy Administrator na siya sa Pag-asa, na taga-Argao ni pero nakaroon mo retire diya sa Quezon City. Magbantay-bantay ta sa atong heat index karong adlaw ug ugmang adlaw. Kay 40 degrees Celsius ang atong heat index, so posible mo resulta ni sa heat cramps o heat exhaustion ug ang continuing activity. Kung direkta ka matandangan sa adlaw, posibleng mo resulta sa heat stroke, mo resulta sa grabing sakit o sa simbakulay o to, posibleng nga kamatayon. So bantay ta sa atong kahimtang sa panahon. Diyon sa pagpili sa conclave sa mga cardinal electors, ang bag-ong Santo Papa, samtang natuog ta alas 12:08 gani na kadlaw, nakapili na sila og bag-ong Santo Papa. Pipila ka gutlo human nipakita ang puti nga aso sa panghaw sa Sistine Chapel, nipakita na ang brand new nga Santo Papa. Siya si Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, labing unang Amerikanhon nga Santo Papa. Siya labing una na taga Estados Unidos nga nahimong Santo Papa. Ang iyang gipili nga ngan Leo the 14th, Pope Leo the 14th. Tungod siyang advocacy para sa mga kabus, para sa social justice nga mo'y gisimboluhan sa mga Santo Papa nga mga nagpipili sa nga Leo. Siya ika-267 nga Santo Papa sa Simbahang Katoliko. O siya labing unang Santo Papa nga natao sa Estados Unidos. Dito siya natao sa Chicago, sa Illinois, sa Estados Unidos. Si Leo the 14th gikan sa mga ginikanan nga nakalilaing sa bahin nagikan sa nakalilaing sa kalibutan. Ang iyang amahan si Luis Marius Prevost, French o Italian ang mga kagikan. So, kung French kuno kining Prevost, ang pronunciation ni Prevost. Pero Amerikano man siya, so Prevost ang pronunciation sa iyang apelyido. Ang iyang inahan mao si Mildred Martinez nga taga Espanya. Kini si Pope Leo the 14th, polyglot. So kamao ni sa nakalilain nga mga lingwahe sa kalibutan. Fluent siya sa English, Spanish, Italian, French, o Portuguese. O makabasa siya og Latin o German. Duha ka dekada siya, 20 anyo siya dito sa Peru. Mo hinungdan nakakuha siya og dual citizenship. So US citizen o Peruvian citizen. Kini si Pope Leo the 14th. Siya mo'y labing unang Santo Papa nga dual citizen. Si Pope Leo XIV natao September 14, 1955. Sa ito pa, 69 years old siya. Siya mo'y labing batanon nga Santo Papa nga napili sa 21st century. Nisod siya sa novitiate sa Order of St. Augustine atong 1977 sa pangidaron nga 22. Ubos sa province of Our Lady of Good Counsel sa St. Louis. Karong bag-o, gitudlo siya ni Pope Francis sa tag-as nga mga pwesto sa Vatican. Sakop siya sa Roman Curia, kanang gabinete sa Santo Papa. Atong 2023, gitudlo siya prefect sa Dicastery for Bishops. So siya mo assign o mga obispo sa naglalimbahin sa kalibutan. O siya presidente sa Pontifical Commission for Latin America. Si Pope Leo XIV, nakakuha siya degree sa mathematics. Sumuni sa Papa nga mathematician. Gikan sa Villanova University sa Philadelphia, sa Estados Unidos atong 1977. Ang bagong Santo Papa, nakapakita na diya sa St. Peter's Square. Pipila ka semana so pa siya mapili. Siya mo nag-preside sa Santos nga Rosario diya sa St. Peter's Square atong Marso 3. Samtang si Pope Francis in town na ospital dito sa Gemelli Hospital tungod sa double pneumonia. So siya karoy mosunod ni Pope Francis isip ikaduhang Santo Papa gikan sa Americas. Si Pope Francis gikan sa South America, sa Buenos Aires, siya gikan sa North America, sa Estados Unidos. Ang College of Cardinals dipili ni Pope Leo XIV sa ikaupat nilang botasyon. So naabtan silang ikaupat nga botasyon alas 12:08 ganinang kadlawon. So ang unang botasyon sa first day, usara ka botasyon, black smoke ani gawas. Ang ikaduhang hugna sa botasyon, ang second o third gihimo gahapos buntag sa oras dito sa Vatican. Way napili. Kining ikaupat na ni nga voting pagkahapon na alas 12:08 sa kadlawon sa atong oras dinhi sa Pilipinas. Si Pope Leo XIV usa ka misyonero dito sa Peru. So wa pa siya itudlo nga kardinal adto lang 2023. Sa tuwa, duha pa ni siya ka tuig na nahimong kardinal sa pagkapili niya pagka Santo Papa. Pero si Pope Leo XIV ni matuod na matinud-anon siyang supporter tigpaluyo ni Pope Francis, labi na sa iyang kausa sa social justice. So, dili lahi ni Pope Francis, sunod niya o pareha pagtuon niya ang napili nga bagong Santo Papa. Atong 2023, si Cardinal Prevost ni sentro sa importansya sa evangelization aron pagtabang pagpatubo sa simbahang Katoliko. O ang iyang sinultihan parihagin siya ni Pope Francis. Mato niya, we are often preoccupied with teaching doctrine, but we risk forgetting that our first task is to teach what it means to know Jesus Christ. So, dili ta magsilang hisgot sa doktrina atong ipaila sa katawhan kinsa si Jesucristo. Our work is to enlarge the tent and to let everyone know they are welcome inside the church. Murag siya Pope Francis og sinultihan. Ato kuno atong padak-an pa ang atop sa simbahan ug atong hangpon ang tanang gustong musud sa simbahan. Kining iyang Augustinian religious order, dunay 2,500 ka mga pari sa tibuok kalibutan. 50 ka mga nasod ang ilang gibasihan. Of course, ang labing importante nilang parokya, ang labing importante lang base mao Subo. Kay sila maoy tagduma sa labing karaan nga simbahan sa tibuok Pilipinas, kanang Basilica Minori del Santo Niño nga pinuy-anan sa imahe ni Senior Santo Niño. Ang nakatalagsaon ni Pope Leo XIV kay why question ang iyang administrative skills. Nakaduma siya sa iyang mga parokya sa Peru, sa Estados Unidos o sa iyang kalibutanon ng mga pwesto diha sa Vatican. Unya pulos maayo ang feedback gikan sa mga nasuito siya trabaho, pero ang nakalahi niya sa ubang mga leader mao nga kamao siya maminaw bisan sa labing yano nga mga tao. He knows how to listen to everyone. Unya mangutana no ni siya sa mga butang mga di ka maisip mangutana sa to Papa. Unsaon pag bulkit sa bisikleta, kung mabuslot ang bisikleta, unsaon pag Facebook. Pero kini siya social media sabi kini maong Santo Papa. In fact, sa iyang mga artikulo nga gipang share na siya gi-share sa Twitter nga mga karon X na mga artikulo sa mga kausa na iyang gigakos. Pero ang labing makapatandog nato dinhi sa Subo kay nakaduaw siya sa Subo sa dihang pari, ordinaryo pa siya nga pari. Si Father Robert Francis Prevost nakaduaw sa Subo atong 2004, 2004. So may pila pa maimong edad atong 2004 sa maimong trabaho. Diin man ka magpuyo atong 2004 dinhi ba ka sa Subo? Nakaduaw si Padre Robert Francis Prevost dinhi sa Subo aron sa pagbendisyon sa Augustinian Friary. Ang friary sa Augustinian community sa Santo Niño de Cebu Parish sa Barangay Mohon sa siyudad sa Talisay. Silingan sa Yule's General Merchandise. Diha si Father Prevost ni bendisyon sa friary sa mga Agustino. Ang pagbendisyon nahimo atong January 31, 2004. Di atong higayuna si Padre Prevost maupay Prior General sa Order of St. Augustine. Ang Prior General mao siya silbi ang global head. So siya kalibutanong nga pangu sa Order of St. Augustine. Ang mga Augustinians nagsugod atong 13th century na inspired sa 4th century African theologian na si St. Augustine sa Hippo. Ang Subo maoy usa sa labing dakong base sa Augustinian religious order sa tibok Pilipinas kay niya dinhi ang Basilica Minori del Santo Niño. Kaubos sa pagduma sa mga Augustinians. Si Pope Leo XIV napili sa ikaduhang adlaw sa conclave dito sa Roma. Siya mo'y labing unang gitawag nga superpower nga Santo Papa. Kay ang rason gyud ngano nga ang Estados Unidos sukad wa gyud mapili nga Santo Papa ang mga kardinal diya sa Estados Unidos. Sa karaan diay nung panahon, kato magbarko pa sila, ang Estados Unidos layo kay sa Roma. So kasagaran mauhi og abot ang mga delegado sa Estados Unidos nga moapil sa conclave. Pag-abot nila na napili nga bago Santo Papa. Kay dugay man kay sila moabot. Mag-steamship pa man sila sa una. Karong bag-o, wa na siya napili nga kardinal kay na superpower naman ang Estados Unidos. Yung ilad man kaayo nga kung Estados Unidos na ngilngig economically mao pay hawd sa simbahang Katoliko tingalig madominahan ang uban nga mga kanasuran. Pero ang asset aning Pope Leo XIV nga nung siya gipili despite of his being American, mao iya pagbase sa Peru for 20 years. 20 ka tuig siya sa Peru. So, na siya world view. Para sa mga ubang kardinal, kamao siya, kahibaw siya unsay panghitabo sa kalibutan gawas sa Estados Unidos. Plus, gihulagway siya sa mga Italiano nga kardinal nga nakaila kaayo ni Cardinal Prevost sa iyang pila ka tuig diha nga pagduma sa Vatican. Si Padre Prevost kuno is the most un-American of all Americans. dili siya Amerikanong batasan. Dili siya kasagaran sa mga Amerikano giisip mga loud, opinionated kayo, dako kay tingog, kani siya soft spoken na siya. Unya di ni siya ganahan og limelight. Kinali siya birahon una ang pa-interview sa mga sakop sa media. Una nga bisan sa dako kay pwestong gihatag ni Pope Francis niya, believe kay si Pope Francis sa iyang sense of humor, sa iyang devotion sa iyang parokya, sa iyang mga parokyano, ug labaw tanan managsama ila pagtuo mahitungod sa immigration, mahitungod sa social justice, mahitungod sa poverty. Og usa sa mga masilakon nga bahin sa pagka-leader niya sa Peru sa dihang gipaubos ang Peru sa diktadura o sa kurakot ng mga administrasyon, usa ni siya sa labing isog nga ni Barong. In fact, demanda siya ng kanhi diktador nga si Fujimori butag sa tagsa pagpangayog pasaylo sa mga nabiktima sa iyang diktadura. Although manchadong daan si pagani kasuber siyang pwesto, gipasangila na siya nga ni-tolerate sa sexual abuse sa pipila ka mga paring Augustinian din sa Subo. Kaya I think atol siya pagduaw din sa Subo na iskandalo na Doon na sexual scandal din sa Subo. Wa siya gihimo. Bisan siya mo global head sa mga Augustinians. So nang hinaot ang mga nasuhito sa sexual scandal sa mga Augustinians din sa Subo, doon ay pipila ka pari din sa Subo gipasangilan ng abuso sa ilang mga sakristan o sa mga batang lalaki na unta mas maayo ang iyang pagduma sa Tibok Simbahang Katoliko kaysa iyang gipakita sa iya pang pangu sa mga Augustinians. Labi na siya pagduaw sa Subo atong 2004. Sumuna ang atong bagong Santo Papa, si Pope Leo XIV. Balik na ta yuta, ari na ta sa politika. Karong adlaw, gitardang ipasaka ang di lang usa, duha, tulogin kay kaso. Batok ni Gobernador Gwen Garcia. Wauhag silang ipadisqualify siya sa Commission on Elections sa iyang kandidatura pagka-gobernador. Gipasangilan siyang namakak siyang Certificate of Candidacy. Gipasangilan sa siyang ni-defy sa balaod, inipadayon niya pag-isnab sa preventive suspension order sa buhatan sa ombudsman. Gipasangilan sa siyang nigamit sa Kapitulyo para sa iyang propagandas politika. So, mao ni ang tulo ka mga kaso kay ipasaka batok ni Gobernador Gwen Garcia karong adlaw. Ang nakatalagsaon ining kasuha kay wa mo paila ang complainant. Hinunoa iyang mga abogado mo niatubag sa mga sakop sa media gahapon pagpahibaw nga mopasaka sila og kaso, mga kaso karong adlaw. Ug wa gid ang usas labing inila o kontrobersyal nga abogado sa Subo si Attorney Inocencio de la Serna mo'y nag-press conference gahapon sa hapon sa pagpahibaw ining pagpasaka sa tulo ka mga kaso. Wa pa ilha ni Attorney de la Serna kinsa ning iyang kliyente. Pero nipasalig si de la Serna nga kining iyang anonymous complainant mao gyud nakakuha ini mao mga ebidensya. Mo kuno karon pa ni mapasaka kay bag-o ra kay nakuha kining ebidensya sa misrepresentation sa giingong pagpamakak ni Gobernador Gwen Garcia siyang Certificate of Candidacy. Si Attorney de la Serna mo'y mangu sa team of lawyers na mopasaka sa kasong disqualification, usurpation of authority o electioneering batok ni suspended Governor Gwen Garcia. So ang kaso ipasaka nila sa ombudsman, doon sa sila kaso ipasaka sa Commission on Elections o COMELEC. Ang disqualification case batok ni suspended Governor Gwen Garcia nagsentro sa iyang Certificate of Candidacy. Labi na sa iyang tubag nga not applicable sa question mahitungod sa pending cases. Susmoro ba nina kapadisqualify ni Ikan Himayo Jonas Cortez sa siyudad sa Mandawi? Mao ni kaso gipasaka ni Atty. Estandarte batok ni Cortez nga gipangutana siya doon ba siya pending cases gitubag ni Gwen Garcia og not applicable. Unya kining anonymous complainant, abogado niya, kinsa ipaila ba kani mailhan gyud ni karong adlaw ining file sa mga kaso na manangan sa complainant. Nakakuha siyang ebidensya nga si Garcia dunay duha ka active cases na sa Supreme Court. Pero iyang giingon nga not applicable ang mga pending cases niya. Ang duha ka mga kaso ni Garcia diya sa Supreme Court mao ang kasong Hilario Davide versus Gwen Garcia. Ikaduhang kaso, Agnes Magpale versus Gwen Garcia. Buhi pa din ang mga kasuha. Pending ba sa Korte Suprema hangtod ning higayon? Nakalimot si Gobernador Garcia na pa siya pending nga cases sa Supreme Court. So matod ni Atty. de la Serna, there is mental dishonesty by not divulging these cases. Nganong iya man ning gipanghimakak? Nganong wa man ni ang kuna? Na doon siya pending ang mga kaso. So muna ang kasong disqualification. Ang ikaduhang kaso nga ilang ipasaka karong adlaw, usurpation of authority. Tungod na ni sa pagdumili, pagpaugat, pagpabaga, pagpapating ni suspended Governor Gwen Garcia sa pagbiya sa iyang pwesto bisan pa sa preventive suspension order nga giluwatan sa buhatan sa ombudsman batok niya adto pang Abril 29. Nadawat niya ang suspension order. So ikanapo na rong adlaw sa iyang defiance sa legitimate order sa buhatan sa ombudsman. So usurpation of authority, ang kasong ipasaka batok ni suspended Governor Gwen Garcia. Ikatulong kaso o katapusang kasong ipasaka karong adlaw batok ni suspended Governor Gwen Garcia. Mao ang masentro sa Sugbo News. Kining Sugbo News mao ni ang Public Information Office sa Cebu Provincial Government. Gitawag og Sugbo News. Gihulagway ining complainant ang Sugbo News nga nahimong PR department ni Gobernador Garcia. Sumatod ini maong complainant nga ang Subo News imbis mo balita mahitungod sa Subo, pulos Gwen Garcia ang ilang balita. Imbis mo balita unsay kalabuas mga Subuanon, ang paukya bukan TikTok ni Governor Garcia magigastuhan sa milyon ka pesos nga budget sa Public Information Office pinagi sa Subo News. Mato ni Attorney Inocencio de la Serna, supposedly, Subo News should be in favor of the welfare of the Cebu province and not of a certain individual. Para ni sa probinsya, di para ni Gwen Garcia ang Subo News. Ato man na detalye din di unsao nang pa-produce ang TikTok, perting hilasa, perting luura, pero kwartas mga Subuanon mo gigasto anang ilang TikTok. Nipuno si Atty. de la Serna nga ang gibuhat sa Subo News nga para ra gyud ni Gwen Garcia ang ilang coverage mo constitute og election offense. So lain ni ground for disqualification. Mao ni ang ground for disqualification. Na naka-commit og election offense si Governor Garcia tungod sa paggamit sa government resources pag-promote sa iyang kandidatura. Matod ni Atty. de la Serna, kining mao mga kaso ipasaka dili para sa benefit sa complainant kundi para sa mga Subuanon. So ato subayon kining mga kasong ipasaka doon na ba igo nga sukaranan ang mga pasangil batok ni Gobernador Gwen Garcia. Matod ni Atty. de la Serna na kuha kini mga ebidensya sa giingong pagpamakak ni Governor Garcia sa certificate of candidacy adto lang Miyerkules, Mayo 7. So muna nga dali-dalion nila ang pagpasaka og kaso ilang target karong adlaw, Mayo 9, mapasaka na ang kaso batok ni suspended Governor Gwen Garcia. So muna ang seryoso ng mga pasangil batok ni Garcia, pero para sa pipila ka mga Subuanon, what a relief na dunay nilihok na di lang takutob yaw-yaw. Dunay aktual nga mopasaka og kaso batok ni suspended Governor Gwen Garcia. Kay di mahimo ang iyang open defiance sa legitimate na preventive suspension order sa ombudsman. Nya walay magpakabana, walay maguno. Ang malakaniyang moingon lang hatagag due process. Ang mga aliadong Governor Garcia, murag okay ra nila nga lapaso ng balaod kay ilang aliado ang gobernador makatabang sa ilang kandidatura sa eleksyon karong Lunes sa Mayo 12, 2025. Mura ba og atong ginormalize ang paugat, ang pabaga, ang papating? So salamat nilang Atty. Inocencio de la Serna o kining iyang anonymous nga complainant, tinun-o nila ang ilang pagpasaka og kaso. Na sa mga nakaila ni Atty. Inocencio de la Serna, kontrobersyal ni si Atty. de la Serna. Diya higayon, nagtago-tago sa ni sa Atty. de la Serna kay gihunting sa ni atol sa drug war ni kanhi Presidente Rodrigo Duterte. Katapusang nadungga nato Atty. de la Serna, siya abogado ni anhing Dr. Rowena Borden. Katong gipasakaan si Dr. Borden og kasong libelo ni suspended Governor Gwen Garcia, si Atty. de la Serna mo'y una niyang abogado. But eventually, I think ni-withdraw abot unsay rason nganong ni-withdraw siya sa kaso ni Dr. Borden. Pero siya mo'y gipresentar sa siya ni Dr. Rowena Borden atol sa iyang press conference katong iyang mga expose batok ni suspended Governor Gwen Garcia. Apil itong iyang pasubingay sa sex scandal ni Gobernador Garcia nga iyang gipasagilan nga digamit siya pwesto aron sa pakigrelasyon o mga lalaking iyang kaibgan nga naghupot o mga inferior nga pwestos gobyerno. Di kabalibad niya. Kay andre nabunal man niya mga laki nga matod ni anhing Dr. Rowena Borden iyang gikarelasyon. Pero wa gyud porsigir ang mga kaso kay namatay man si Dr. Borden. So atong atangan karong adlaw kini papasaka di sa dilang usa, dilang duha, tulog yun ka mga kaso batok ni suspended Governor Gwen Garcia. Ang laing masulti nako ining mga kasuha, it's about time. Paninglan si Governor Garcia siyang blatant display of abuse. Anang ipagamit sa Subo News para sa iyang personal na propaganda. Tanan niyang lakaw, tanan niyang sayaw-sayaw, tanan niyang paukyab na sa Subo News. Meantime, ang dago kay libaong sa atong kadalanan sa probinsya Subo, wa gyud makita Subo News. Ang kakabos sa atong katawhan nga napasagda ni Gobernador Gwen Garcia, wa gyud ibalita sa Subo News. Ang mga pasyente sa atong mga provincial hospitals nga di maatiman kay way gapas, way tambal ang atong mga provincial hospitals kay gipasagda ni Governor Garcia, wa gyud ibalita sa Subo News. Ang taas kay level sa atong malnutrition, ang daghan kay stunted nga mga bata dinhi sa ato sa Subo despite our being the richest province in the country. Wa gyud makakita og luna sa mga programa o sa coverage sa Subo News. Pero starring kay Subo News ang pasigarbo sa Subo. Hasta tong ibot-ibot mikropono ni suspended Governor Gwen Garcia iyo tong ilabay ni Alberca kadto supplier sa ilang sound system dito sa siyudad sa Karkar. Sa dito pa ipahigayon ang pasigarbo sa Subo. Starring kay Subo News kanang iyang suroy-suroy Subo, sakay na siya kabayo. Sa bisan asang bahin din ni Subo, ang suroy-suroy Subo imbis mahitungod sa Subo, mahitungod na hinuon ni Gwen Garcia. Siya mo i-promote. Sa tanang programa sa probinsya Subo, siya mo i-promote dili sa Subo. So, luod kaayo kana mao pahimo sa gahom, finally, hinaot finally, dunay maningil niya. Siya pag-usik-usik sa minilyon ka pesos nga buhis sa mga Subuanon para siyang production sa TikTok, para sa iyang mga suroy-suroy Subo, para sa mga pamugos siya sayaw, sa buwan ganahan na niya sayaw sa pasigarbo sa Subo. I-appeal pa niyang senior sa Niño, pugson sa mamugos sa sayaw sa Sinulog. Pero kanatanan, gigastuhan na natong minilyon. Ako ito, agwanta, di ba ni pag-unsa ning ato, pagkipat-kipat usahay ning atong video kay akong suga ni pila ning katuig wa pa ko kapalit og ipuli. Kanang ila dia ato ng kwarta. Nag-hire sila daghan kay cameraman, nag-hire sila daghang mga editors. Ngano gani mag-hire sila daghang editors, di man siya mosugot na siya ang gulo nga di siya gwapa. So kanang mga video nila gi-edit na pag-ayo para nga di makita atong anggulo nga naghiwi iyang naong. Pagkaluod sa gibuhat ni Gobernador Gwen Garcia. Pero why nakabadlong niya kay kita kutob raman tas panaway. Kutob raman tas istorya. Nagkinatang mga tao sama nilang Attorney Inocencio de la Serna o kining iyang anonymous nga complainant aron nga tinuod yung mapasaka og kaso. Tinuod yun nga mobarong. Batog ini mga pangabuso sa gahom ni suspended Governor Gwen Garcia. Madutlan na din siya ini mga kaswa. I'm sure dupana sa siya sa administrasyon. May kalaki ining administrasyon na. Kaso gani batok sa mga Duterte, paspas kay ang lihok sa kaso. Kaso gani batok sila mga aliado, murag unsa nang asukar bitaw nga hinay kay lihok, ispiso kay asukar, pero mas kubado. Haskan dugaya makalihok. Napo kaadlaw na human na serve ang suspension order batong ni Gobernador Gwen Garcia. Wa pa gid siya mo kanaog gikan sa pwesto. O wa gid magpakabana ang Department of Interior and Local Government sa Philippine National Police labaw ng Malacañang sa pagpatuman sa legitimate na suspension order batong ni Gobernador Gwen Garcia. So nagasalamat Attorney Inocencio de la Serna o hinaot tinuod ng imong anonymous complainant o hinaot badayon karong adlaw ang inyong pagpasaka o mga kaso hinaot lig-on kini mga kaso nga inyong ipasaka wa lang mo magpagamit dias politika. Hindi man sa ni ma-discount ang anggulo sa politika kay eleksyon naman unya sa Lunes sa sunod semana. Pero pag matuod nga hapit ang eleksyon o grabe ng hilana trus politika, ang kanhi mayor sa Tagbilaran gipa-disqualify sa kandidato pagkakoresista diya sa Bohol, si kanhi Tagbilaran City Mayor Babayap nagatubang og kasong disqualification. Gipasangilan siya nga ng haylo og kwarta sa mga botante. Mao ni edad karon sa social media, wa nay sekretos mga politiko. Kada pataka ninyo mga diskurso diya sa inyong mga kampanya, mabidyuhan mo ana, ma-record mo ana, magamit ng ebidensya batok ninyo. Mao ni ang ebidensya gigamit batok ni kanhi Mayor Babayap. Kay sa iya nung diskurso ni tanyag siya manghatag og kwarta kung makadaog siya. Mao ni ang pasangil sa joint affidavit sa 5 ka mga mulupyo sa barangay Bilisan sa Panglao diha sa Bohol. Kinisiyap ni daga ni pagkakoresista sa 1st District sa Bohol. Murag iyang kontra ang incumbent nga koresista nga si Edgar Chato. Ako nahibaw-an diya sa ato mga higala sa Bohol. Maora ko na exciting. nga match up diha kay murag wa may klarong kontra sa pikas. Dili man kaayo higpit. Pero kining kang Babayap o Edgar Chato higpit ko ni kay popular man is Babayap. Unya incumbent man si Edgar Chato diya sa first district sa Bohol. Gipasangilan si Babayap nga nang nitanyag og pagpanghatag og kwarta kung mapili siya. Ang mga complainants mao silang Alfeo Istologa Osaraga, Albert Giboni Bompak, Renato Aronales Sarahina, Olimpio Bonao Bompak, ug Ursula Orbachuelos Bompak. Nanumpa silang affidavit under oath na personal sila nakakita sa Facebook page sa Voice of Boholanon atong April 26. Nahitabo kini maong diskurso ni Babayap. Sa maong video, si Yap nakitaan og nadunggan nga nagkanayon. 2 bulan gikan karon mo balik si Babayap. 5,000 ako ihatag pero og senior citizen 20,000 ako ihatag. Na ay senior citizen nga nipakpak sa likod mao na video recording ni Babayap. Batod sa mga complainants kining diskurso ni Babayap nagmatuod nga gusto siyang mo influensya sa mga botante pinagi sa pagpanghatag og kwarta. Ug ilang giingon kalapasan kini sa Section 26, Section 261, Subsection A sa Batas Pambansa 881 o Omnibus Election Code na nagdili sa vote buying. Ang video na pa sa Facebook Facebook hangtod ning higayuna mo ilang ebidensya ngadto sa COMELEC. Sa pikas nga bahin, di ilang usa duha gyud ka disqualification cases ang gifile ni Mayor Lucy Torres Gomez sa Ormoc City batok sa ilang politikanhon nga mga kaatbang. So ikatulo na ni sa mga disqualification cases nga tulo na ka disqualification case na file ni Lucy Torres Gomez batok sa ilang mga kaatbang. Ang giauhag ni Mayor Lucy Torres Gomez ang COMELEC pag-disqualify ni kanhi kongresista o kanhi Associate Justice Vicente Sofronio Veloso III o mao ni kontra pagkakongresista sa Ebana na si Richard Gomez o sa mayor sa Matag-og nga si Bernardino Tacoy. Si Veloso dagan pagkakongresista sa 4th District sa Leyte batok sa bana ni Lucy Torres Gomez nga si Richard Gomez. Pero si Lucy mo nipunit sa kausa siya bana. Sa magibuhat ni kongresista Richard Gomez. Tanong iya mga asawa mo mo pasaka og kaso para niya. Samtang kini si Tacoy magpapili pagbalik pagkamayor diya sa Matag-og. Sama sa Bohol, ang gigamit ni Gomez nga ebidensya mao ang Facebook video ni Tacoy o ang Facebook video ni Veloso. Kaya ni-diskurso ko ni Tacoy sa usa siya mga Facebook video ng kanayon. Sa eleksyon, bahalag magpinatyanay ta o gusto man na ninyo. Basta ang pagserbisyo sa mga tao atong ayuhon. Pero ining eleksyon, o gusto niyo ilugon ang Matag-og, magpatay ta. Kununhan ko ninyo. So parang Lucy Torres, panghuldlat ni. Kalapasan islang na seleksyon ng gibuhat ining Tacoy. Sa kaso sab ni kanhi kongresista kani Associate Justice Veloso, nasa Facebook video na nagkanayon sab si Veloso, kini timan-an nila kay gipakatog lang nako ang panuway karon sa akong lawas. Pero before kay kada adlaw mo simba jud ko, ayaw pukaw ang panuway kay lisod. Pero og mapukaw manggali ang panuway sa akong lawas, og kinahanglan ko mo patay ko oy. Oy, mo patay ko. Mo isulti ni kani kongresista Veloso sa Facebook video. Ingon si Gomez, kini mao mga video nakapahadlok ni sa mga molupyo sa 4th District. Kung yung mapilde iyabana ini. So muna iyang gi-file ang kasong disqualification at tubangan sa COMELEC. Ni-file siya disqualification case batok ni Kerwin Espinosa na nidagan pagkamayor sa Albuera Leyte kay gihagit og duelo ang iyabana nga si kongresista Richard Gomez diya sa 4th District sa Leyte. Atong subayon kini maong mga disqualification cases nga i-file diya sa Leyte, diri sa Subo o sa Bohol. Doon na pa ba igong panahon pag-resolver ini ang Commission on Elections o COMELEC. Naari na ta sa survey sa social weather stations. Ang social weather stations usa ni sa tulo ka mga survey organizations nga akong gibiliban nga mao na nga akong i-feature ang resulta sila mga surveys. Plus, mo ni ang latest na Senatorial Preference Survey. Gihimo May 2 to 6. Sa ito ba, niaging semana lang, ipahigayon ang nagsugod og Biyernes, natapos Martes. Adto lang Martes, gabi no? Paspasa sa survey. So gipagawas din nila pagka May 8, 2 days na ang processing sa resulta sa survey sa social weather station. So hangtod ni karong semana ang survey. Hangtod at Mayo 6. Mao ni ang resulta. Number 1, si Erwin Tulfo. 45% ang iya. Number 2, si Bongo na Ilugan. Nag-ilog sila. Number 2 raman ni si Erwin Tulfo sa survey atong Marso, no atong Abril. Karon number 1 na siya. Si Bongo ni us-us pagka number 2. Number 3, si Tito Soto. Number 4, Lito Lapid. Number 5, Ben Tulfo. Number 6, Ping Lacson. Number 7, Abi Binay. Number 8, Bato de la Rosa. Tagak si Bato de la Rosa. Number 8. Number 9, Camille Villar. Saka si Camille Villar. From number 11, number 12. Number 9 na si Camille Villar. Number 10, Pia Cayetano. Number 11, Bong Revilla. Number 12, Amy Marcos. Saka si Amy Marcos. So this is Magic 12. Number 13, Manny Pacquiao. Number 14, Willie Rebillame. Number 15, Benhor Abalos. Number 16, Bam Aquino. Tagaks Bam. Number 17, Kiko Pangilinan. Lansang si Kiko. Wala naging makasaka. Sumao ni ang top 17 sa social weather stations nga survey. Arita sa ilang gidaghanon sa suporta, nagsikit pag-ayo ang suporta. Gikan sa number 4, kasi Lito Lapid, hangtod sa number 12, hangtod number 13, number 14, pati si kita. Lito Lapid, 34%. Ben Tulfo, 34%. Tabla sila. Lito Lapid o si Ben Tulfo. Si Ping Lacson nga number 6, 32%. So 2 points ra ang biya ni Ping Lacson. Si Abi Binay nga number 7, 31%. So 1 point ra ang biya ni Ping Lacson. Tabla silang Bato de la Rosa, 31%. Si Camille Villar at number 9, 30%. So 1 point ra ang labaw ni Bato o ni Abi Binay ni Camille Villar. Pati si kita. Pia Cayetano, 30%. Tabla silang Camille Villar. Number 11, Bong Revilla, 29%. 1 point ra sa iyang biya ni Pia Cayetano. Si Amy Marcos, 29%. Tabla silang Bong Revilla. Number 11 o number 12. Si Manny Pacquiao, dako og biya, 5 points. 24% ras Manny Pacquiao. Tabla silang Willie Rebillame, tabla silang Benhor Abalos, 24% silang tulo. So kung mag-eleksyon, karong adlaw, tagak si Manny Pacquiao, tagak si Willie Rebillame, tagak si Benhor Abalos, tagak si Bam Aquino, tagak si Kiko Pangilinan, tagak si Francis Tolentino, tagak si Philip Salvador, tagak si Rodante Marcoleta, tagak si Jimmy Bundok. So Magic 12 would be Erwin Tulfo, Bongo, Tito Soto, Lito Lapid, Ben Tulfo, Ping Lacson, Abi Binay, Bato de la Rosa, Camille Villar, Pia Cayetano, Bong Revilla, Amy Marcos. So ang makasud, 4 ka Duterte ang makasud. Kay consider Duterte candidates naman silang Camille Villar o si Amy Marcos. Plus Bongo o Bato de la Rosa, 4 ka Duterte candidates ang makasud. Usa ka independent candidate si Ben Tulfo ang makasud. Sa to pa, pitura ka administration candidates ang makasud. Erwin Tulfo, Tito Soto, Lito Lapid, Ping Lacson, Abi Binay, Pia Cayetano, o si Bong Revilla. Sila rang 7 may makasud. So dili 8-2-2. Kung dili 7-4-1. Ang resulta sa kung matinuod na survey sa social weather stations. Although ato ni klaro na, kining survey kutob ra ni adtong Mayo 6. Wa ta kahibaw na usab ni Mayo 7, Mayo 8, Mayo 9, hangtod sa Mayo 12. Dili makit-an sa survey ang lihok sa makinarya sa mga politikanong partido. Although ang lihok sa makinarya mo manifest na sa campaign period. Pero ang lihok sa makinarya inig dayo ng eleksyon di na makitaan sa mga surveys. Ang power sa sample ballots, ang influensya sa vote buying, pila ka porsyento sa mga boto ang mapiktuhan sa vote buying, di na makitaan. Kaya ang vote buying mahitabo man atul na sa pagpahigan sa adlaw sa eleksyon. In fact, nasugod naman gani ang vote buying as early as this week. No, binayranay na. Ipakatap na mga sample ballots sa nakalilaing mga bahin diri sa atong syudad o sa probinsya sa Sugbo. I'm sure sa ubabahin sa Pilipinas. Sa record sa COMELEC, doon ay 68.4 million ka mga registered voters. So niabot dulan sa 69 million, 68.4 million Filipinos ang registered voters. Sila'y magpanon, kita'y magpanon, apil ta ini sa magpanon sa mga presinto karong Mayo 12. Akong i-check kung makasud ba si former Cebu City Mayor Tommy Osmeña. Okay man sila na makasud. Ato lang paabuton si kani Cebu City Mayor Tommy Osmeña kay nisugyot ko alas 7 sa buntag. Sa gahapon, alas 7 sa buntag. Ang natibo gahapon, daghan yung gisabotahe to si Tommy Osmeña gahapon, Leo. Mura og dili kanang bitong fluctuation ba sa signal ba? Mahitabo man na din sa ato say magreklamo mo nga di mo kabati sa kontingog na putol ang atong audio. Kining tungod na sa fluctuation. Bisag nindot kay imong plano na ako'y PLDT home, nagbayad ko ini kada buwan, pero nagihigayon mo fluctuate ang signal. Gisultihan ko ini usa ka internet service provider sa usa sa ilang mga engineers. Siya uwaw bitaw ka Emilio kay na ako noy taga usa sa mga subdivisions sa Cebu City. Amerikano, unya iyang business online man. Murag niara siya Subo pero ang iyang mga kliyente tuwa sa Estados Unidos. So, didemanda siya ang kinadak-an kuno ang kinakusgan nga internet connection ang iya. So ang iyang bayaran kuno kada buwan 30,000 pesos a month. Ang iyang gibayaran kada buwan para sa iyang internet. Paspas kuno kay iyang internet. Pero na jud higin mauwaw sila sa Amerikano kay higin mo fluctuate gyud. Yan na si former Cebu City Mayor Tommy Osmeña ato ng asuwayan sa pagpasud. Mayor Osmeña, good morning.
Good morning, Leo.
Pasaylo, Mayor Osmeña, naputol ang itong interview pero daghan kayo nabitin sa interview na and I'm thankful nga maka-join ka namo bisan sa kabisi na ninyo sa inyong final day sa kampanya. How are you this morning, Mayor Osmeña?
Well, everything's getting a little exciting, kay hapit ng elections. I really hope that our people will always be safe now. There's always a dangerous period. So I'd like to ask everyone to say a little prayer for peaceful elections. And I hope na makuwas good ang tingog gikan sa mga tao.
Mayor Osmeña, usagi sa mga pangutana nga ilang ingon wa man nimo mapangutana jud kun magpa-interview balik si Mayor Osmeña ang BRT, ang Cebu BRT project. Unsa man ni Mayor Osmeña ang proyekto sa imong plano magikan unta sa Bulacau padung sa Talamban kay mao man ang mga population centers sa duha ka tumoy sa Southern Cebu City o sa Northern Cebu City. Karon ilang giputol gikan na lang sa SRP padung sa IT Park. Unya gibabagan pa gyud ni Governor Garcia ang bus station diha atubangan sa Kapitulyo. Unsay mahitabo sa Cebu BRT project, Mayor Osmeña?
It has to be corrected, no? This is a very let the people decide. I will just explain, no? The BRT is an invention of Mayor Lerner of Curitiba in Brazil. I first learned about it in 1992. And when I read about it, I said, this make mokili ang nindot para sa atong syudad. But anyway, you ask, imong pangutana nga sakto ba ang lugar, ang direksyon niya na? No. But never mind, no? Ang advantage sa BRT, it is movable because it's a bus. Yeah. If it's a train, you cannot move the rails. It's permanent. Monorail is permanent. It's hanging there. But a bus is movable. So, panalitan, wherever the route is, no? Let's say we had the BRT operating in Cebu. And then during the Sinulog, the organizer of Sinulog says, can you move the BRT to Birama for one day so that we can use Osmeña Boulevard for the parade? The answer is yes, because it's a bus. Hmm? Mga na sa ka-advantage sa BRT. Another advantage of BRT is sa flexibility. Kung naka sa monorail, murag circuit ni siya. It's a loop, in a never-ending loop. If the loop is cut at any point, the whole system is frozen. Panalitan, there's a BRT that's monorail or ilang gigamit og rails. Unya na sunog, na earthquake, na hugog building, naputol ang usa ka rail. The whole system is frozen. Hala, and then what do? You cannot move it around. No? In the BRT, well, you move it around. You drive around the obstruction. See? Another example is, let's say, if we have the BRT operating here, and let's say there is a special event like there's going to be the performance of the U.S. Air Force, Blue Angels in Mactan Island. So 1 million people will want to go there. Can we use the buses for the day to bring the people to Mactans? The answer is yes. Okay. Now, another advantage of the BRT is because it is a bus, it is easy to maintain. Pananitan, if we are using a monorail or what they want to be, and let's say naguba ang usa ka rail, imong ilisan ang ligid. Kinsa man atong tawgon dinhi sa atong syudad sa Sugbo nga muilisan ang ligid sa train. Pustag yun ta, wata makita yun. Kanya, next question. Na BRT, na flat tire. Do we know anybody in Cebu who knows how to change the tire of a bus? Pustag yun ta, bisan asa na mga eksperto dito. Kada barangay na don't know how to fix the tires. So when you take all of this in consideration, na yung mga advantages, na yung mga disadvantages. But in terms of cost, in terms of flexibility, in terms of operating facility, BRT is better. It's superior because one, it's cheaper. Train and monorail is more expensive. It's nice. But you ask people, are they willing to pay ang ilang plete times 4, times 5? Dili man ang atong tuyo, di ba? When you talk about a mass transportation system, that you must be able to service the poorest commuter who cannot afford to ride a multi-billion facility. Now, I have studied all of this way back in 90. I flew to Curitiba in 1997, and this is something that it says yes, it will work. It will. It's not perfect, but there are many things about the BRT that the people will not be happy about also. Panalitan, ang BRT, dedicated ang lane. Ang mga pribado nga auto, dili mahimong gamiton ang lane sa BRT. So, ang mahitabo gyud, ang mga tag-iya sa private cars, mulisod gyud sila. So unsay solution niya na? Actually, para kanako, ang mga tao nga why silang private car, na at least na silang very convenient transportation. Ang mga tao nakasakay sa auto, ako'y kasugyod, sakay sa BRT na lang. Mas nindot, no? We cannot just keep widening our roads. Pwede mahalang right of way 100,000 per square meter downtown. No? So, kani ang atong timbang-timbangon. Pero sa Curitiba, there is very people ride the BRT. As a matter of fact, wag ka makitang taxi. No? You don't see any taxis because your taxi will go bankrupt if people like to ride the BRT. And now, question, what is the BRT? BRT is a long bus. No? Actually, tulo ka bus, connected, joint. Ha? Tulo ka lawas, duha ka joint. So, it's like a train. So, it is long, but it can carry up to 275 passengers if it's three bodies. In Curitiba now is four bodies, no? So when the front car is moving, tungod kay connected ba ang second car ug third car is moving together. Okay? This is one of the reasons why you can commute a lot of people using the BRT compared to jeepneys. Kaya naanad na ta sa mga jeepney. Yung mga jeepney, one BRT bus will replace about 10 jeepneys. Okay? When you use the jeepney, you put 10 jeepneys on the road. Number one, these 10 jeepneys are not connected. Okay? O sa akong punto, kung muhunong ang primerong jeepney, the other ones have to stop. Okay? It creates a gap. Stop, stop, stop. In the BRT, the bus is interspaced electronically and scientifically through a central guide, to a central war room. So ang distance between each bus is very far. You will not bump into the next bus because it's 5 minutes apart. Sa ato pa, kung moagang usa ka bus karon, where is the next bus? You wait 5 minutes. When the next bus will arrive, you look for the first bus. Well, it left 5 minutes ago, so pwede lang. You are so far apart. So you will not bump into the other bus. So BRT does not overtake each other. It moves all around in sequence. Dito sa Central War Room, sa headquarters, makikita ka ang movement sa bus sa wall. And then they will tell the bus driver, "Hoy, you're going too slow. You move a little bit faster." Now, ang usapang problema sa comparing the BRT to the jeepney, nindot ang jeepney. From the standpoint, you want to board the jeepney, you can board it anywhere. You just wave your hand. Muhunong yun ang driver, he'll pick you up. The problem is that the jeepney behind has to stop also because one passenger wants to go up. Kung doon ay munaog sa jeepney, the jeepney has to stop. When that jeepney will stop, all the jeepneys behind him will have to stop because the passenger, Mr. Lastimosa, has to go down from the jeepney. So everyone must stop. So ang kiling must stop is what creates the traffic. No? So in BRT, na yung mga waiting shed. So di ka maka-board sa bus unless you go up to the waiting shed. Kaya ang sahog sa waiting shed, patagman sa sahog sa bus. So you want to jump up on top of the bus. It's like trying to board the truck. Why hagdanan? No? So you walk up the waiting shed, then the waiting shed, you walk into the bus. Okay? The bus will stop right there, and then you enter the bus, and then the bus keeps going. So the way sa ordinary na tao is that you have to walk to the nearest waiting shed. And in Curitiba, the waiting shed is 400 meters apart. Okay? Sa ato pa, to walk to the nearest waiting shed, the maximum distance is sa Centro Grid, you walk 200 meters to the right or 200 meters to the left. So you have to walk. And you cannot get down anywhere. You can only get down through the waiting shed. Namo ka ng disiplina sa BRT. And the BRT na special system, no? nagabot ka sa traffic light, na ang driver, depende sa modelo, na remote control. Pare sa imong TV, on-off. Kung doon na ang driver sa traffic light, ang driver mo pindot ang remote control, ang suga nga red will turn green. So if you ride the BRT, why red light? No, straight on. So ang original route na akong gitanaw mo kini mga tao nagpuyo nagtrabaho dito sa pinaka north area sa up to Talamban, no. Daghang kay mga tao nga taga Talamban nagtrabaho sila o nag-eskwela sila sa downtown. On the other hand, we have a problem sa mga tao sa south also sa traffic, mga tao sa Bulacau, Pardo, that area, many of them go to school or go to work to downtown. So ang ruta sa original route sa BRT is from Bulacau to downtown to Talamban, no? So kung sakay ka sa Bulacau, and you want to go to downtown, it will take more or less bisan traffic. There's no traffic, no one can use the road 20 minutes, no? If you remain in the bus, you will end up in Talamban in another 20 minutes, no? And kay mo ka ng usa ka route, mutuyok ni siya. Okay? So, I don't know. When I first read about it was 1992. I said, pagka-bright yun ang kining tawhana si Mayor Lerner. He eventually became the governor when I met him. But I said it will work. But I said, I don't know how to go to Curitiba, Brazil. No, mahal good na. But anyway, in 1997, there na usa ka bilyonaryo din sa Cebu nga murag simple nga tao pero is very wealthy. And he asked me, Tommy, I want to do something for Cebu City. I said, yes, sir. What do you want to do? He said, I don't know. What do you suggest? I told him, you want to build a police precinct, a health center? I said, yes, yes. I said, sir, the city can always build a health center. Why don't you spend your money on something that the city will not be allowed to spend? So what do you have in mind? I have to send a team to this place in Curitiba, Brazil, because I think this is something that will help alleviate the traffic problem here in Cebu. To cut the story short, gasto siya mga 2 ka milyon. So there are 5 of us who went to Brazil. Nag-abot mi sa LA, it's only halfway. There's another 14 hours to go down to Brazil. Sige na lang. It was, we were able to make it to Brazil. And na timing na yun, amot na dinhang kamot na Ginoo, ang ambassador sa Brazil from the Philippines, taga-ato, si Frank Benedicto, no? He said, so when he found out I was going there, he made all the arrangements with the mayor and all the planners and everything. Nag-abot sa Curitiba, everything was scheduled already. All the interviews, we ride the BRT, we talk to the planners, what were the difficulties. So, we went to Brazil. Kuyog ko ang akong mga tao sa CITOM, no? Including the former ones. Unfortunately, they're all dead, no? Si Bobit Avila, who was head of CITOM, Jingjing Osmeña, Sammy Darza, no? They were among those who went with us to Curitiba. So, we went to Curitiba. I was convinced. I said, it's really nice, no? Sakto, good. And when we went to Curitiba, the BRT, it was not called BRT. It had another name. So, and it's only in Curitiba. No? Ang mga uban like Rio de Janeiro, the other big cities, did not like to adjust it. But, baon ni mo ng tao ba? They don't like to copy nanay sila garbo. But so, anyway, he said, never mind, this is interesting. This will work for us. Except, nagbalik ko din I analyzed, I said, this is too big a project because kinahanan we have to negotiate with the national government, LTO, Department of Transportation, LTFRB, NEDA, and all of that. I said, patay, di ko kaya. This too much. We had problems sa SRP. Mo-concentrate na lang ko sa atong mga problema sa SRP. So, 1997, I went to Curitiba, came back, didn't do anything. Surrender. Yeah. I know it's good, but it's not. I'm not good enough to handle this kind of project. Uh, Fast forward, 11 years later, imagine, 2008, uh, I was back as mayor, and then na ako'y duha ka consultant sa Asian Development Bank. They wanted to meet me kay naghangyo sila og briefing, what's going on in Cebu, how's the economy niya na. So, wala, storya-storya lang. We went to a restaurant sa Ramos, ang Beehive Restaurant kaniadto. Dito sa Beehive, one of them mentioned, there is a wonderful mass transit system mahimo gamito sa Pilipinas, pero ang gobyerno why political will. So curious ako, what's that? He said BRT. I said, what is the BRT? He said, Bus Rapid Transport. I said, what's that? He said, they use these buses, murag na himong train. I said, then I remembered, over 10 years ago, I was in Curitiba. He said, that's the one, that's the BRT. I said, that's not the BRT. He said, because I was there for 1 week, I never heard the word BRT. He said, well, it's now called BRT, and 125 cities have adopted it. I said, oh, wow. So anyway, we were talking. I said, you don't have to convince me that it's good. I was there even before it was called BRT. So, and I know it will work. But, I cannot deal with ang kining dakong nga gobyerno sa Manila, dakong mauho, sabi ni Ana. I said, never mind. No? But then, I told him, said, times are, no, excuse me, sir, pero can you give us a little grant just to do a pre-feasibility study para I will have something to show how the BRT will work in Cebu. So he said, why don't you send us a letter, no, and ask for the budget, no? So I sent them a letter through Paul Villarete, who's our city planner. Makasabot siya ang mga language sa kanyang gobyerno, no? A pre-feasibility study for the BRT. And I told Mr. Villarete, by tagay sa kasuwat sa World Bank o usa sa Japanese government, base lang ba? Base. The letter is made already, send it. What the worst that can happen, then say no. Then after a few months, Villarete said, all three approved. Wow! I said, wow. Murag ang Lazarus, no? Nibalik ka, gikan sa lungon. I said, oh, okay. And then the three of them found out about it, and then the World Bank said, we will take the lead and do the pre-feasibility study. So they started to do the pre-feasibility study, and then the World Bank said, we're interested in this. We're interested in this, no? Why don't we do a full full-blown engineering study, POWE, POWE, detailed engineering. I said, mahal na. How much will that cost? I said, more or less, about $1 million more. I said, we don't have that kind of budget. No, I'm sorry. I wish we could do it, but the city cannot afford it. No, just para sa plano lang, $1 million kapin. I said, so they said, okay. Then after a few weeks, they got back to me. They said, we're willing to spend for it. Why gasto? I said, huh? Hala, nibalik. Gayapon si Lazarus. Welcome back. No? Then after that, but said, you have just get the approval of NEDA. No? No expense to the government. We will do it for free. Detailed engineering sa ato pa. They will compute everything, the surveys. apil ang tanan, ang semento, kabilya, bombilya, tanan, no? Operating cost, administrative cost, consultancy cost, they do all the studies. So I went to NEDA. So ko ang NEDA. I said, actually, NEDA said, "Oh, how come World Bank is coming to ask for this project? We're the ones who should tell World Bank na this is the project we want." I said, I understand what you mean, but they're willing to do this. It's no cost to you. All you have to say is yes. So, after a while, they said, okay, so, mao ka na nahitabo. So, padayon is the food trail engineering. And then, kept, it reached a point, they completed the food trail engineering, I don't know, after 1 or 2 years. And then, we needed to get approval from NEDA. World Bank gave NEDA, the Philippine government, an offer to fund this project for 11 billion pesos. And then, ang presidente at the time, si Noynoy, said no. I said, yeah, I don't like to waste 10 billion on an experiment. I said, it's not an experiment. It's already being done in many cities. And we need it, no? No. At that time, ang Secretary of Transportation was Mar Rojas, no? And I told Mar, you're running for president. I will not support you. If you're going to treat us like this, I'm not going to support you. I'll make sumbong to the Cebuanos that this is what you're doing. So, Mar talked to Noy. It was approved. But 5 years have passed before dito sa katapusan sa termino ni President Noynoy, it was finally approved. I said, wow, balik na po ng Lazarus. And so, uh, uh, we have a new president. Then Duterte was president. And then Neda told me, we need to get the approval of the president. I said, why? It's already approved. I said, because the price now is, the budget is now 16 billion. So we need to get the approval of Duterte. I said, sus, patay good ko. No? Oh, believe it or not, we approve ni Duterte ang BRT. Uy, balik na po si Lazarus. So here we are all over again. And then, nakasuod ang mga badlungon si Michael Dino. No. Let's go to China and let's get the monorail. You'll have it by next year. I said, how can you have a monorail by next year on a system as complicated as this? As a matter of fact, just to do the project study will take over a year. He said, no, you will have a monorail by next year. And natural na sa administrasyon, yung istorya si Bautista, Secretary of Transportation, put on hold ang BRT. I said, surrender na ko. Napildi pa ko. So, step out na lang ko. In comes Mike Rama, who doesn't understand anything. He didn't even know how to pronounce BRT. So, what happened was that they went into the system and they said, we will do monorail. But they cannot find money in monorail. So after 1, 2 years, 3 years have passed, ang mga tao sa NEDA nagreklamo. Hoy, we already signed this loan agreement. We will start paying interest. We have to use this money, Otherwise, what will happen? So, nabalik ang Lazarus sa luwan. Good. Here we go again. I said, God, I think the Santo Niño is really with us. So, but when it came back, one ako sa poder. So, pagkamaldito yun sila sa gobyerno, ang ruta nga from Bulacau to downtown to Talamban is 25 kilometers. Ilang giputlan? It's down to 12. And the price is now 20 plus billion pesos. And the route is from SMC side to Ayala. So natural, Napil ang mga tao sa SM ug sa Ayala, nag-ilang gikuhang project for their advantage, not for the people. And I said, who is going to go who's going to use the BRT from SM to Ayala? Hala. That's why I know it will not work. It will, well, we will let them try it. But they said, what about the people from Bulacan? Oh no, we will put jeepneys. Jeepneys, you go to SMC side. And then you want to go to Talamban. When you arrive in Ayala Mall, you take a jeepney to Talamban. I said, that defeats the whole purpose of the BRT. No? Pero naklaro yun na mo kini ang mga padlungod din ang kini mga dako nga korporasyon o mga tao sa behind all of this. And there are many suspects here, no, but never mind. Para kanako, let them finish it because it will not work. People will not who want to go downtown will not take a jeepney to SMC side. They'd rather go direct, no? But let it go on. Then we will work for the realignment to bring it back to Bulacau. Mm. Ang advantage sa BRT is that it is expandable. See, from Talamban, you can from along the route because it passes Osmeña Boulevard, you can have another route connecting to Guadalupe. You can have another route going to the Mandaue. You can have another route because it's a bus. No, in a train you cannot move around like that. But if it's a bus, it's easy, relatively easy. You still have to make the waiting sheds and things like that. But once people see it, they will ask for it. We will not get so many problems. So what people don't understand, it's not simple. No, I have done BRT to me was I considered a failure. Uh, I had many plans for Cebu. That was one of them. I surrendered. Di ko kaya. If you cannot handle it, I did do it. That's why after seeing BRT na, except when those Asian Development Bank consultants came to Cebu and I asked for money for a pre-feasibility study. It triggered a whole revival system. Yeah. So this is what these are the things that the mayor has to do. Uh, Tinuod yun, I don't play basketball. No, I don't do any of those things. But I know how to negotiate. I don't have to deal with Manila. We get our money from abroad. We get the BRT is funded by the World Bank and the government of France has 30%. The Australian traffic lights, I got that from Australia. The Passil fishing port, I got that from Belgium. No? Then, of course, Japan has helped us with many projects. Even our other buses came from Kaohsiung. Because if you rely on Manila, you're not going to get anything. So, talent sa atong mga napiling opisyalis karon, puros kwan, how to spend money. Forbida, that's it's no talent to spend money. I will make you the best this. I will give you bus. Everything is free. But no money, no honey, darling. You can talk to say, I will give you the sun, the moon, and the stars. I'm the one who looks for the money. No? Then you can do all of these things. So, ang importante yun, mangita og kwarta. Kunya, ang gobyerno, all the money goes to pork barrel, to congressmen and the senators by the billions, no? So, never mind. We will not fight to that pwedeng taas ang linya sa Manila. I go abroad. I get them from all over. Even our hospital beds come from Germany. No? People talk about CCMC. CCMC is the first hospital in the whole city of Cebu to have all electric beds. And that's all donations. Because when I got electric beds from Michigan, and when I got electric beds from the U.S. and then from Europe, particularly Netherlands, uh, they're all electric. So that's why CCMC was had to be rewired sa 110 volts because all the electrical equipment came from abroad. No, so ang ilang voltage We have 220, but many of them are 110. So natay dual circuit, natay plug na para sa 220, na plug para sa 110. No? And I brought in maybe 40 containers of medical equipment. We were giving medical equipment to many other cities as well. As a matter of fact, I remember, I tell you a funny story, nakadawat ko og phone call gikan sa usa ka babae congresswoman. They said, Mayor Osmeña, do you have hospital beds for our place? Ako, opisyalis ako sa League of Cities, so I help cities. I do not help the whole world, no. But he said, no, I am not the city. He said, this is Boracay. Boracay? Yes. We need hospital beds in Boracay. Boracay did not have a hospital. Boracay did not have a hospital. No. I said, oh my God, Boracay doesn't have a hospital. Daghang kayong turista. Well, now we have a hospital, but we don't have any beds. Do you have beds? He said, okay, I'll give you beds. So if you get sick in Boracay and you end up in the hospital there, the beds is from Cebu City. But that's sa akong talent, magkuha og not only money, but also medical equipment, buses, whatever, I get from other places. I remember that time, this is a long time ago, na earthquake sa Baguio. Daghang yun namatay dito sa earthquake sa Baguio. And they were, then I got a call from a government official in Baguio. He said, Mayor Osmeña, we heard that you might have some medical equipment. I said, yes, can you help us? Of course. I said, do you have anesthesia machines? I said, how many do you want? No, I checked. I have 8 anesthesia machines. You can have them all. You just arrange to have them picked up. Well, yan na ba? So, the job of the mayor is simply not giving welcome address and welcoming all these strangers and foreigners and balikbayans coming to the office. Para ka na usik na sa oras. Ang pinakausik sa oras, pagpirma senior citizens card, libo-libo. As if you're going to make life better, you just make somebody sign it na lang. Ang urot ang imong oras niya na. So, anyway, mo ka na ang balik ta sa BRT. Even if it is here, people will realize that it's an inconvenience because you have to walk to the nearest station. But overall, at least the future, even if the traffic gets worse, the BRT can handle that. Pananlitan, padung sa pagkakaroon, kung nakayuta sa Talamban, the value of your land will go down unless there is an efficient transportation system. Kaya ang mga tao, mga developers, hindi sila makasud. Kaysa man mo palit og balay dito sa Talamban if it will take 2 hours to go to work. Okay? So ang demand sa kwan is not good. And then we will have more concentration in the city, more congestion, more problems with water, with traffic and other things. So we have to look ahead. So and the BRT, I thought, is a good solution. Defective kaayo, sige na lang, let them do it. Let them screw up. But once it's there, they cannot take it away. We will just realign it based on what the people will now see. Sakto yun eh. This is not the way to do it. No, we're not spending. Government should not spend 25 billion. It's now 25 billion to help SM and Ayala. Mo ka ng resulta karon.
Mayor Osmeña, sa panahon sa imong amahan, pag plano niya nga ibalhin ng airport, gitawag siyang buang. Anong gutawag hilabtan ng airport sa Lahog, kinsa man intay mo gamit sa airport dito sa Mactan. Sa dihang nagplano siya magtukod og taytayan, magsumpay sa mainland Cebu ug sa Mactan, gitawag siya siyang buang. Kay nganong butangan man mo nag taytayan ng Mactan, katunggan ra man na diha, mga ukoy ra man na diha. Sa dihang ikaw sab pag plano nimo sa SRP itawag sa kambuang unsa man tayo naa diha sa south unsa may kapuslanan na ng SRP ni Tommy karon nagplano kag mayor of the night, gibugal-bugalan na sa kang ano gusto na ay opisina og tungang gabi night opisina og kadlawon. But eventually mayor nakaplagan kini inyong mga ideya nga feasible o helpful nakatabang sa Sugbo ug sa mga Subuanon. Akong pangutana Mayor Osmeña, diin man gikan ning inyong mga ideya. Doon na may gene sa mga Osmeña nga mura mo na spring of of brilliant ideas nga inyong ipatuman or namoy training unsa man ning nganong makahuna-huna mo mga ideya nga wa mahuna-huna sa ordinaryo nga mga politiko.
Salamat sa imong pangutana, Leo. It's not a matter do you train or whatever. It's following the principle. No, some problems take a long time to solve, and you have to anticipate these problems because it takes a long time. So you start now. It's just like na kay anak. You want your son to be an engineer. Well, before you get an engineer, you have to go to school. When you go to school, you have to go pila ka tuig sa grade school, pila sa high school, college, yan na. So you don't wait until he's 21 years old and make him go to school. You know, it takes a long time. So bata pa siya, magsugod ka na. 6 years old, imo pa enroll na. And people say, why are you doing that? Because I want him to be an engineer. Yeah, but he's only 6 years old. Yeah, but you have to start here because by the time he gets old, he'll already be an engineer. Ang atong napili mga opisyales, they only think about because tulo katuig lang ang ilang term, they only think of what they can do in their term. So you do not see these things. Ang akong papa, people don't realize what he has done to Cebu. You talk about the bridge, you talk about the port. The North Reclamation Area was the port. They said, we need to expand our port. Cebu is the queen city of the South because we're the trading center. Na kaniato na Pier 1, Pier 2, Pier 3, maura na. No? What's going to happen to our trading center, our city, if we don't have any more space? So to do that, you have to do a reclamation. So na-extend ang atong warp by 2 kilometers. No? So that's how we thought. You know, and my father, people don't realize how my father loved Cebu City. That's where I got affected. Did you know that my father donated the Capitol land and Osmeña Boulevard to Cebu City? That was his personal property. Ang Tibok Capitolio, ang Tibok Osmeña Boulevard was donated by my father. It was under Cebu Heights. Cebu Heights is owned by my father. Cebu Heights, the original owner of the property is Juana Osmeña. Si Juana Osmeña, everybody knows the street, but some people don't know. Isa man ni si Juana Osmeña. Ngunit mama sa akong lolo Don Sergio. He had many land holdings and one of them was that. And so my father says he donated the land, the entire land, 100%, and the entire Osmeña Boulevard up to Puente only. That was all owned by my father. So he said, he gave it to the city. This is for Cebu. And even when he was, and he always talks about Cebu City. Even after he runs for national office, he ran for mayor again. He ran for vice president, he ran for mayor, he ran for senator, then he ran for mayor, he ran for president, then he ran for mayor. Kung imong tanaw ng mga uban ng opisyales, once they go up, they don't come down. They never go down to wherever. Like Nino Aquino was governor, mayor in Tarlac. He became senator. They don't go down. The others, they go up. They stay up or they retire. They don't go down. But my father has nothing to do with rank. He just loved Cebu City. So even in the States, he keeps talking about Cebu City. So, and because I've been exposed to him, so I get to see something special about the city. Uh, I remember. I'll tell you something very few people know. Ang tanan akong mga igsuon had their high school in America. I had my first year high school I was studying in La Salle grade school. Nagabot ko sa first year high school, hagbong ko sa duha ka subject. Tagalog o catechism. I hate both subjects. I cannot stand it. So ang mga pare dito, actually, dili pare, they're called the Sun Brothers. They told my father, he either will repeat siya sa year or transfer. I will not repeat the year. So transfer ko. I said, transfer to Cebu. They do not speak Tagalog in Cebu. Ako nang bahala. Ang catechism, I will just have to wake up for that. So, pero, suko kayo akong papa. He said, he's really angry at me. So he punished me. That punishment was a blessing. Okay. When I arrived after classes, the first summer, uh, he made me work my summer job in the North Reclamation Project. Dito sa uh, Ponce compound, that area around there. And ang akong trabaho is nothing. But I have to go there every day. Ang field office, may aircon, no? Payag yun, perteng inita. Sige na lang, kay naghatag siya regular salary. Para ka na ako, dako kayo na, kay nakoy auto, nakoy kapuyanan, ang sweldo, pang party-party na okay na. So, agwanta ra. So, I would go there every day. Dito man ko, I ask all these questions. What is this? What is that? I walk around in the mud sa North Reclamation. Muna, nakaton ko. Said, this is very simple. Now, fast forward 40 years, when we were planning the road going down to Talisay, South Coastal Road, I said, gikan sa Kawit Island, padung sa Tangke, it's very shallow. Nagabot sa Onas, makalakaw ka. I said, I will reclaim that. He said, do you know how to reclaim? I said, yeah. He said, are you an engineer? No. I said, do you have a book on how to reclaim? No. What are you going to do? I said, I will write the book. Okay, no problem. May libro. Maghimo kong libro. Mo nang akong style. So, step by step. What do I have to do? What are the things that to do it? What are my options? What are this? When you put all of those thoughts together, you're writing a book. You're writing the formula. You're fabricating the formula. So step by step. Then anyway, the rest is that we finally were able to get the SRP. Ang daghang kayong mga tao who became billionaires because of the SRP. Sa dalan ra. Sa dalan ra. You know, when people told me, said, what are you going to do? I said, basta I tell you, you'll be able to drive from City Hall and you'll reach Tangke Talisay in 15 minutes. I said, what are you going to use? Helicopter? No. I said, it's impossible. You have to go to Ermita, you have to go to Pasig, Subang, Sawang Calero, etc. Dulho, mga pardo-pardo. By the time you reach Tangke Talisay, I said, no, you don't. Basta, you'll be able to drive. Karon, nakita yun ng mga tao. You don't go out there. You just go straight into the sea. Then where did you learn that? Kung gitanaw ang pelikula, Ten Commandments, si Moses, yung daplin ng dagat. No? Ako, right man ko, si Moses, daplin. Diba? Ang nabili ng mga bato, mga lapo. Then, dili, lupig si Moses. Ako, na sodium light, sementado, nindot, hayag yun. But anyway, that road, that South Coastal Road, the value of properties in Talisay went from 15 pesos per square meter to 15,000 pesos per square meter. So daghang kayo nakakwartag yun. All of them made money. Yeah. Imagine if we did not have the South Coastal Road, how long will it take you to get to Tangke Talisay? You have to go through Pardo, you have to go through Dulho, you have to go through Kinasangan, you have to go through... It's very hard to go to Talisay. But now, we opened it up. Nag-away ko sa mga planners. But anyway, ang tubag sa imong pangutana, it's not the matter of it's in our genes. It's the philosophy. if it will take 10 years to build an airport, huh, build it 10 years before you need it. So by the time you need it, the airport is saying, I'm here, use it already. So ang economic development sa Cebu is seamless. There's no gap because before there, if imagine if our airport's been congested and now we have to build a new airport, it will take 10 years. You have to acquire the land, you have to do all of these things. Patay yun ang atong ekonomiya. Labi pa din sa Cebu, we make our money through commerce, not through agriculture. No? So, mo nang estilo sa akong gikaton sa akong papa. Uh, you think ahead. You look for the problems that will take a long time to solve. You start solving it now and make the solution now. So, nag-abot ang problema, hala, nana din ha ang solution. Naandam yun ka. So, I, I, to me, it's not genius eh. It's just caring. It's just like caring for your child. You already think ahead. He needs to be an engineer. Why will I wait until he's 15 years old before enroll him in kindergarten? Ayaw eh. Eh? So it's just a matter of caring and having that principle. Right now, and the people, luig yung mga tao, they're always misled because our leaders only tell them what they want to hear. Sigurado na, don't worry, we will be free. We will have no squatters, everybody will have a house. I said if everybody will have a house, then everybody in Bohol will come to Cebu. How do you solve that? So there has to be you have to think out through and just not think about say propaganda effect because development comes from real planning and thinking. Then you have to convince all the people along the way that has to be done. So people tell me, how can you convince the NBI, the LTO to open up their offices in the night? I said, well, number one, we have to convince them. And we have to make sumbong to the people. Because in the first place, I'm not stealing. No, it's good for the people. If they were, and sure, it's good for the people. They should do what's good for the people. So we'll talk to the senators, we'll talk to the secretaries, we'll talk to the cabinet members, and tell them, your NBI director doesn't like to open up an office at night. No, and then this is going to affect the integrity of the national government. Then they tell all 150,000 call centers, don't vote for that guy for president or party anymore. Kasi, mo ka na, nakasabot sila ang kanang, they understand that language. So I know how to play that game also. So it's a little here, a little there. But I'm getting too old already. So I said I cannot do all of these things myself. But I said, kung na si Nestor, ah, he's the new Manny Pacquiao. Siya, bunal yun dito. He will take the punches. Ako si Freddie Roach. Kung autocra, kaya ko pa. No? Na ako gawa sa ring, matanaw lang sa direction. Kasi atong possible alternatives, what are different options. No? And I would tell you something, Leo. I will not serve a bad mayor. I will not serve Yogi. I will not serve whoever, Rama, worse, or even Juan, or even Raymond Garcia, hambugero kayo. Cebu is not Garcia country, period. Cebu belongs to the Cebuanos. Korteng dako ang ilang uba. So, mo nang ilang plano yun. Ang syudad, ang syudad ug ang Governor Garcia, hawak ng tanan. You know, sa ato pa, kung yung i-analyze, they want to reign. No, to me, the role of government is not to reign. The role of government is to serve the people. Mike Ramos says, no, you serve him. Magbuot ka, akong mayor. Yan na ba? Yung utok na ikuwang tornilyo, no? So, we have to, that's why akong gipili si Nestor. Ang problema lang ni Nestor, Di siya ilado. Sa atong culture sa politics, kinahanglan gikan ka sa ilado. You have to be a Cuenco or a Gulyas or something like that before you can become a mayor of Cebu City. No? Ang problema, akong ipili mga ilado, Alvin Garcia, si Mike Rama, palpak. Baka di ay. Kanya, kung sa atong remedyo niya na, wala gyud. Bisa mo pera ka sa utok, di na bada. So, mo nang akong isulti, akong gipili. Atong pili yung tao na si Nestor, ah, na abilidad. Pero ang problema, di man siya ilado. Pero remedyo niya na. O sa remedyo, di magkampanya ko, para daog siya. Ang importante yun, din abot siya sa position na din ang abilidad. Kanya, just to be sure also, I assure the people, I'm his vice mayor. No? I will support him. But if it's another guy, I'm wasting my time. I'm already 76 years old. Sa akong trabaho ko na badlong ng mayor, di man ako marites pa. That's not my style. Why kung oras nang mangita og sala, no, that's a waste of time. I like to concentrate on building.
Mayor Osmeña, unsa imong comment anang ilang obserbasyon na ang misfortune ninyo mga Osmeña, ang inyong mga successors mo undo sa inyong mga accomplishments or mubudhi gani ninyo politically. Nahitabo ni sa imong papa nga si Sir Hing, karon nahitabo din nimo karon ang imong former vice mayor sa mga councilors mao na karon imong higpit nga mga kontra.
You know, that's normal. We have to be careful, you know. Nag-abot ka sa taas nga position, busod sa imong utok ang imong IQ na doble. Dili na tinuod, no? So, pwede takuha ang kwan. Di ta kinahanglan ang shabu to get high. Once you get a high position, buda kung labi pa ang imong kauban, puros mga tao, mga sip-sip, kaya mo na, you're so good. Hala, you're sitting down there, na murag naglutaw ka sa sa langit, no? I tell you, first time when I got elected, I was invited to be a guest speaker. And then, nigabot ko sa lugar, lang sa backdrop, welcome, His Excellency Mayor Tommy Osmeña. I look at it, I said, putang ina, that's me. Wow, grabbing high. You know, nakalingkod ko sa City Hall, nasuot si Gwen Garcia, tagiya, Presidente sa Beco, kaniadto. He said, Your Excellency. Si Tito Chiling, don't call me Your Excellency. Oy, no, Your Excellency. You're the mayor. You should be called Your Excellency. You're called Your Royal Highness. And you call me Tommy. You know, Leo, di ka matuo. I'll tell you something that some very few people know. Ang akong counterculture sa akong utok. My immediate staff, like the MMPs, no one's allowed to call me mayor. No one. That's the first rule. I said, no one calls me mayor. No one calls me sir. What do we call you, sir? Boy, you call me Tommy. That's hard, sir. I said, no, I don't like that. You know, you know what I learned? I'd like to share this with others. That how we have to change to move ahead. We have to release some of our values. We're too polite that we treat the executive, the elected officials like they're kings. No, they're not. If you go to the Israeli military, they are so different. They're so progressive, but one thing that people do not know, in the Israeli military, you are not allowed to salute an officer. Not allowed. It's not optional. You're not allowed to call him general. You call him by his first name. Ikaw, General Lastimosa, no, they say, Leo. Even though the guy is a private, he will call you Leo. And it's hard, of course. But you break the barriers. In an organization, you improve the flow of communication. Di sila nauwaw when they speak to you. They will just tell you, Leo, it's like this. You see, why is the Israeli military like that? No. It's simple. Ang pinakadakong problema sa usa ka military man is to lose a battle. Of course, they trained all their lives to win a battle. Now, how the hell did you lose one? When you get into a battle, one side will lose. You don't want to be the loser. So you fight it out. Okay. So let's say you lost a battle. Then after that, na kay mga survivors, imong istoryahan ng mga survivors. Uh, May, wag mo na ibaw ang kining bag-o nga machine gun na defective spring dito sa sword. No? Makajam ang armas. Did you know about it? Yes, sir. Why did you tell me? I tried to tell you, sir. Wala, they don't like that. Or we told the sergeant, maybe the sergeant would tell the lieutenant, maybe the lieutenant would tell. Dito sa Israel, you can tell the general, commanding general directly what's in your mind. And he's trained to listen to you. Let's say Leo Lastimosa is the general. You go to Leo, the canteens they gave us don't work. No, it's gone. This shoes is very itchy. This and that. You should change this. You should change that. He will listen because he wants to win the next battle. And he doesn't want to hear the problems after the battle. What did we have? So, ang nahitabo sa Israel is that this developed the new culture. They don't like why is Cebu superior to Manila? Why? In Manila, very condescending. Every third word is po, ho. Eh, To me, I don't believe in that. You call me Tommy. What's yung problema? You say what's in your mind. That's fine. I want to hear what it is. That's why ako rin buang nga mayor butang akong cellphone sa Facebook. You text me anything, say anything you want. You don't have to say sir or anything. Just tell us what your problem is. You know, I'm not insecure. Ang galing mga tao sa ibabaw, they're so insecure. They only say, sir. It sounds nice, it's very polite. But from a management point of view, it's counterproductive. Because nauwaw yun ang mga tao, gustorya kanimo. And that's very bad. That's very bad. So there's many things sa atong values and culture na pasensya na lang that I really don't agree with. It's not actually strengthening us. It's holding us back. You know, like our national language. Why are we bastardizing the English language? We should teach everybody plain English. Ano man ang police na himong PULIS? What are you trying to prove? Why just call it police? The same spelling is in English. Pero hindi gabot ang atong mga tao sa Amerika, puros wrong spelling ang ilang gigamit pag suwat sila og report. And you look at Lee Kuan Yew. Lee Kuan Yew says, speak English. That's the language where you learn. You want to suppress the people, you make them master the local dialect. Now they're complaining, how come our people are not so, our comprehension is very poor? Because we're overloading them with the wrong things. The Filipino people is not the language. The Filipino people is not the flag. The Filipino people are flesh and blood like you and me. No, that's higher. You don't serve. You don't serve. That's why ang kining example like you're blocking the view to the Capitol. Sa BRT ba ang kanang waiting shed blocking the view to the Capitol. But if you go to the Capitol building, nakabutang dito nang imprinta sa building mismo. The power emanates from the people. See? You're violating that. This one, the power emanates from the Capitol building, the people should follow. Remove the waiting shed. Kneel down before the Capitol. Ako di ko kasabot yan. If we want to talk about development of this country, Number one, walang iwanan. Number two, everybody should be given the same opportunity and we should challenge our own values. Are we doing the right thing? Not because we're always doing it, that doesn't mean it's right. I don't agree with many sa atong culture that's right. And some people get angry at me. Said, it's just the way we want to discuss it, we will discuss it. So they tell me, give me an example of some of our values that I think is wrong. I said, yeah, one of them is that they say, do your best. I don't believe in that. If you don't believe in doing your best, there's no such thing. You just win. If you do your best and you lose, it's no good. You have to understand that. If you don't do your best and you win, it's good enough. So it has nothing to do with doing your best. Huh? So you, my house is under attack by the Abu Sayyaf. I will, I will have to fight back. Huh? What will Margot tell me? We might die. Say, it's okay. I will do my best. No, but I might die. Huh? As long as I do my best, it's okay. Buwag ka diha. You have to kill all of them. It's not a matter of doing your best. See, this is something everybody talks about. When your friend is aspiring for something, do your best. When you want to aspire for something, I will do my best. You just don't do it. You just win. Yeah. That the other thing also related to that is that sa atong kultura, second place is good. To me, second place is the worst place to be. I said, no, Mayor. Second place is good. I said, yeah, because you go to school. In your school, if you're not summa cum laude, you're magna. If you're not valedictorian, you're salutatorian. If you're not gold, you're silver. If you're not Miss San Carlos, you're first runner-up. That's good. That's bad. You know, I said, I would rather be in last place, Mayor. Ikaw good, no? Of course, it's not good to be last place. I said, I would rather be in last place than second place. I'd rather be in last place. I said, let me explain. Ang kanang second place o last place, parehas ang duha, napilde. Pero ang second place, naning kamot yun. Na heartbroken, nahurot ang kwarta, nahurot ang oras, nahurot ang tanan. Pili gihapon. Ha? Mas mahirap. Last place, tanaw lang tag YouTube. Okay na. Parehas yun ta. Oh, ano mo ko, nervous breakdown pa ko. Oh, tanaw lang ko TV, okay na. I said, so when you aspire for something, you must win. And he said, but it's hard to win. I said, it's not hard to win. It's easy to win. You know, easy to win. It's all in the mind. I said, kung imong tanaw ng mga runners dito sa oval sa Abellana bitaw, ha? You know, when they run, race against each other, ang sa oval, that's 400 meters. Hindi mo na tinuod that to win, you have to run 2 times faster. That's not true. You just run a little bit faster. No, you're all running more or less at the same speed. Why can't you run a little bit faster and you win it all? You're second place, you're nothing. No? So once you're in there, you drop everything and you focus because you have to get the last point. You don't have to jump 2 times higher. You don't have to score all the points in basketball. You don't have to get all the votes in an election. Huh? Just get one more vote and you're elected. Don't tell people almost won. There's no such thing. You lost. No? Okay. And I said, but the difference is very small. You just have to go beyond yourself. Bisang gamayra. Ibaw nimo si Hidelin Diaz, na-shock yun ang mga tao, pagka-proud yun kitang tanan na she was able to win the gold. What I saw, she won by 1 kilo. 1 kilo. Okay. She was the last contestant, no? And so she told the guy who has the best record, you add 1 kilo. And she told herself, if I can carry this, I win it all. Da. He's not thinking, I will do my best, I will do my best. Nagawas yun ang yung mata tingali is bloodshot already. Murag siyang usa ka Murag shark ba, nakatilaw na ang dugo ba, gutom na dala, bang, kuha, win. By 1 kilo. That's what I see. You see all the prices she won. I said, pagka-bright yun. She gave, she gave, she's just a little bit better. She didn't have to be 2 times better. She didn't have to carry things to the, what I do is just really, mo kini akong gi-share sa mga kabataan karon. Uh, don't think that to be successful, you have to jump 2 times higher. That's not true. Yeah? But once you decide to do something, you just concentrate on what you're good at. Put all your energy there so that you're a little bit better than the next guy. Then you're a winner. Pero na yung mga tao nga, I will try 3 things, I might win one. No, it doesn't work that way. That's why whatever you're good at, focus on your talent. Whatever it is. If it's cooking, focus on cooking. If it's boxing, focus on your boxing. Don't try to win boxing and swimming at the same time. Just focus on one because you cannot be at your peak if you have too much concentration. Sa basketball, every card counts, every jump ball counts, every foul shot counts, you know. So the one mistake the other side will make, that's what will make you win the game. Kailangan na intense focus good if you want to win. Morning ko wang. Because no matter who the mayor is, the mayor cannot deliver. That's the truth. The mayor's a cheerleader. That's why I see myself. Just convince people. The mayor he only has one body. He only has 24 hours in his clock. So whatever we do, we have to learn how to use and work with people around you so we can maximize. And din sa ato, mga Cebuanos, we are kanyang-kanyang lakad ng atong batasan ba. And we will not prosper. We will not really prosper that we think we are. They say we're very strong in tourism. I said, we're very poor in tourism. Leo, you go to all of our hotels, wa ka makita bisan usa ka brochure what to do in Cebu. You go to any city in Asia, you go to the hotel, look at the brochure, look at the front desk. Nada tanan mo brochure. You want to go mountain climbing, you want snorkeling, horseback riding, it's all there. Here, no. Ang atong mga businessmen, none of them. They want the tourists to stay only in their hotel. They will not tell them that you can do this, you can do that. No. They said, this is a problem. The problem is not we don't have enough budget. The problem is our own attitude. How come we have none of our hotels blanco, tanan. It's name any hotel in Cebu. You go look at the lobby. Go to any hotel in Hong Kong. You go to the lobby. Tanaw ng mga brochures. Daghang yun, what to do. Tour guide here. Tour over there. Visit the animal park of Lulier. Rihanna ba? Here, wala. They will not put it. They will not allow. They want the tourists only to go stay in their hotel. Even Shangri-La, even the big hotels. This is a sickness. How can you improve to labi pa karon? We have a Secretary of Tourism that's from Cebu. Bangak. You know, you cannot mobilize. It doesn't mobilize anyone. Utubran press release. No, you have to analyze the market. Why are other countries doing much better than we are? It's also the people. So, if for a country, for a place to be different, you have to change. You have to change because better does not exist. Better is up there in the sky. You cannot stay down in the ground and become better. You have to change. Ang problema, risko kayo. If I change, I might collapse. Yeah, but if you're young, test ideas. So try anything. Because you're not going to get better. Sama sa mag-uma. Mga tao sa Negros, they only like to plant sugar. That's all they can. They read stories that you can make money in cacao, you can make money in coffee. Oh no, they only like sugar. So okay ra. No? Pero kutob ra sila diha. They will not really grow. Okay? And you analyze the problem, it has nothing to do with science. It has to do with the values of the people. That's why the most important thing is education is not simply going to school and reading the book. Education is learning how to think and learning how to question the book. I train my staff, the MMTs, Mayor's Management Team, uh, always question the book. Ang among slogan, there is always a better way. No matter what, there's always a better way. And at first, they don't understand what I'm saying. No, I asked one time the class, my own trainees, my MMTs. I said, "What's the best car in the world?" Na usa nagbarog, no? This is a long time ago. Sir, Mercedes S400. Mercedes S400, that's the best car in the world. Yes, sir, absolutely the best car in the world. There's no car better than that. I said, no, there's no better car than that. That's the best car in the world. I said, you're wrong. Sir, what's a better car? I said, you wait until next year. They will have a better S400. Okay, una ka, if you're thinking that that's the best car, kutubra ka diha. Huh? But the way it works, you better come up with a better car because people will catch up with you. So, sa atong sistema, if you're staying still, you're not staying still. You're going backward. It's an illusion. Why are you going backwards? Because everybody's moving forward. So actually, you're going backwards. Pero sa ibang utok, you're just staying still. Sa'yo, you're going backwards. So everybody must continue to move. And once you move forward again. There's no end to this. The moment you stop, you're being left behind. The whole world, murag sapa ba, the river will keep on moving and you'll be left behind. So, hinaut pa unta that the Cebuanos maybe will realize that we should explore new ideas. And do not be afraid of new ideas. This program that I call Mayor of the Night is the most innovative program in these elections in any part of the Philippines. Uh, because it's not being done anywhere. Uh, si Osmeña ra ang buang. Correct. Ako ra ang buang. Pero demand-based ang akong itanaw. It's only not based on what I think is good. It's when I see what people are crying, what their frustrations are. Then I write it down and I say, what are the solutions to make this possible? No? So it's akong gitawag demand driven. It's not I'm not making a product and forcing people to like it. I find people, what do you want? That's what I will build. So when you try to sell it, oh, I like that. Not because of mine, because I'm listening to you. So I hope that we will be able to convince people that we should open up our minds and test new ideas. I have been observing the people, and the people are made to believe that they're stupid. I'm the only one who can save you. Sayop yun na. That's why we listen, oh, I like this guy. He will save our country. He will save our city. That's not true. It's the people who will save themselves. Ang kahimo ang leader is just, number one, provide a safety net. Walang iwanan. Ha? Unay mo saka. Ha? That's why I say shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd. You have to be like a shepherd na kasaluyo. Ha? That at least you have to give the people the assurance that you will not really get. You can only go down so low. Somebody back there will help you and keep you alive. But not to make you the Superman. That's impossible. What to prevent you from falling down on the way through. That's what government is there for. Like when Margot spends time helping children with cancer. Kung ka ng BOPK yun, walang iwanan. That's why when the Keisha uh, Kasai said that she was one of those cured by cancer, ilak si Margot. She said, wow, walang iwanan talaga. This girl would be dead if not for the treatment. Now she's going to become a lawyer. Yeah. That's that's what it is. That's success. And it will take many generations to convince people that this is the way to go to, because we're always made to feel helpless. I would like to tell you one of my corniest speeches. I always repeat it. It's called about the old man and the mountain. Because to teach people about development, you know, stories like this is in China. There's this place where there's a big mountain. Everybody called it the ugly mountain. Nobody liked the mountain. They wish the mountain would just disappear. Maybe it had nothing. It had no water, it had no forest, it had no game, no minerals, nothing, just rocks. And one day, an old man called his neighbor and said, I know how to get rid of this mountain. Mo ba? I said, oh, you tell us how you're going to get rid of this mountain. Said, I'm going to carry a rock. I'll walk down to the sea and I will throw this rock to the sea. So they said, you're not going to get rid of the mountain that way. That's crazy. You're old already. I thought about that, pero iba mo, ang akong pamilya, ang akong anak, they will continue to do this. Sa bisan pa, protect the coin. So, usa ka tao, iyang gikuha ang abacus mo ng Chinese calculator, di kinahanglan ng baterya. Okay, how big a rock can carry? How old are you? How long will you live? How many children you have? Compute. Uy, there's a lot of rocks, no? But you also have to compute the size of the mountain. I don't know about how big the mountain was. It's only a story, but some of the biggest mountains in the world is in China. No? Uh, Mount Everest is in China. So maybe that island, that mountain is as big as Mindanao. Maybe even 3 times taller than Mount Apo. So nag-compute siya sa size of the mountain. Nag-abot sa pila ka oras is surrender siya. That mountain is just so big. You cannot get rid of that mountain. So the old man said, tinuod, no? That's true. So kung mga tao, you wasted our time. But I told them, but I can tell you something. And I can promise you something. And I can guarantee you something. So they turned around. What can you guarantee us? What can you promise us? I will guarantee that that mountain will not get bigger. Guaranteed. Kaduha, I promise you that mountain will get smaller. No? Unsay atong punto sa kining istorya. Dinhi sa atong siyudad na atong nasod, natay ugly mountains. Di ka motuo. Criminality. They're big ugly mountains. Poverty, housing, all of these things are big ugly mountains. But if each one of us would carry a rock, we can see to it, we can guarantee the problem will not get bigger. And we can promise that the problem will get smaller. But you have to have the faith that when you make a problem smaller, you make life better. So dili mo na tinuod that you have to solve a problem to make life better. Just reduce the problem. As long as tomorrow is better than today, okay na. Just don't go back and make it worse. I told these stories so many times. I said, people are picking up rocks. They have to believe what they're doing. Every time a child opens up a book, uh, or a teacher tells a child 1 plus 1 equals 2, a teacher's picking up a rock of ignorance and throwing it into the sea. Every time the child opens the book, it's picking up a rock. Every time the parents work hard so that the child will stay in school, he's picking up a rock. Every time a nurse will inject a patient, she's picking up a rock. So don't think that people are not doing development. It's all around you. You just to make them realize that they are the development. That's what we're doing correctly. The mayor, like I said, the leader is only a cheerleader, just to point out to you, hoy, sakto gyud ang imong mo. I told this story so many times, people like it. Then one day, ako nakita ang picture sa Banawe Rice Terraces. Allah, mountain na, no? Then I look at it, then they said it took, I don't know, 2,000 years to make the Banawe Rice Terraces. Then I told myself, maybe 2,000 years ago, there was an old Filipino who was smarter than the Chinaman in my story. Maybe he was not even old. Maybe he was not even a man. I don't know, but there was somebody who was smart enough. He told his neighbors, "Ibaw nimo, I'm not going to get rid of this mountain. All I have to do is pick up a rock and roll it down the side of the hill. So sa akong lifetime, makatukod ko, makahimo ko usa ka terrace. Pero I have the faith that that terrace will feed my family for generations and generations to come. It's up to them to continue." And they continued. Nakita ang mga buang, we look at it as a tourist attraction. We don't realize the lessons of our own past. When you see the picture of Hanawe Rice Terraces, I think of that old man or that Filipino or Filipina, whoever he is. Pagka-bright yun. He's not a civil service eligible. He did not have any computer. But he just had the wisdom to look ahead. Unang akong i-share sa mga tao, you are building your own terrace. As long as we pick up our rocks, we'll be okay. If you expect other people to do it for you, you're not okay. You think you will survive by ayuda samo. No? No. Natay ayuda karon kay na election. Niguman sa election, may nang ayuda. Balik sa kawat. Maghuwat ka tulo ka tuig bago makatilaw ka ayuda gyapon. No. I said, at least, now's the time we will put our foot down. And one time, he said, anyway, this is my last chance to serve. Physically, I cannot go anymore after this election. I'm 76 years old. I'm not Superman. No. I'm not sick, but my head is still working while still working. I said, you let Nestor be mayor. Kung to sa akong mahimo, I will give him the options that he can choose. And then we will consult other people. If this is what you want, this is what we will do. Let's stop relying on waiting for Malacanang to help you, waiting for pork barrel, waiting for ayudas to come. This is not the future. This is not the future that we need.
Final question, Mayor Osmeña. Unsay tan-aw nimo og legacy?
I don't care about
legacy. Unfair ni pangutanahan, Mayor, pero kung nakumbinser nimo ang World Bank o ang France pag sponsor sa bus rapid transit, nakumbinser nimo ang Japan, ang JICA paggasto sa pagtukod sa South Road Properties, I hope makumbinser nimo si Miguel pagpadayon sa imong maayong buhat diri sa Cebu.
Yeah. But ato na yung klarohon. I really don't care about legacy. I don't care even about winning. But I like the fight. I like the fight going there. What's at the end? Humana. Nothing. I don't care about the medals, But it's going through the struggle and I'm talking to people, let's do this and say, let's work together. That is what I enjoy. And when I'm gone, I'm gone. It's okay. No problem. All these other people talk about legacy. Nasa utok, Rama, ego tripping. This is Rama country. This is Garcia country. Mga buang yun, Cebu belongs to the Cebuanos. I'm very happy that the Cebuanos gave me a chance to serve. And I'm just, ako lang ipakita na I can do it one more time. Ang importante yun, at least nakita yun ng mga tao gikan sa Baguio Ruping. I promised the Cebuanos, Cory will not help us. I will do it myself. That's my fault. Ruping is my fault. Ako mo ang ng problema. I will show them in Manila that will become number one. So in 4 years, we became number one in the Philippines, number 8 in Asia, according to Asia Week magazine. People don't know that. I don't care. People don't remember that. But when I said we're number 8 in Asia, you know, you're naka sa ibabaw. Number 1, Tokyo, number 2, Singapore, number 3, Hong Kong. Di ka kaya niya na, but we're number 8 and the top in the village. Pwede lagyo, away laing nga syudad na sa Pilipinas na apil sa lista. We beat Kuala Lumpur, we beat Bangkok. That's what I like. Never mind about the legacy. It's just knowing that it was nice getting there. Okay. Sa panahon sa Baguio Ruping is one of the few times where the Cebuanos really work together. They really work. So I have never seen it that way. I never imagined it be that way. It was never that way again. Right now, kanyang-kanyang dapat. But during that time, basta Usuti ang mayor, I will fix it. Sulod good ang tanan. Ang ganda yung mga laing nga mayor sama sa naitabo sa usa ka syudad sa Luzon, nag-abot ang bagyo. Idaga ng mayor sa Amerika, labad ang iyang ungo. Makasabot man ko, grabe ang pressure. But I decided we will make it together. It's up to the people, not me. Murag ako isa ka putahe sa menu. Hindi ka ganahan, okay ra. Pero sulti ko kaninyo, murag ako ang humba sa menu, pinakalamig, ang BOPK. Proven naman. No? That's why I told them, if you make Nestor mayor and you give me Mary Ann and you give me Bebot Avellanosa, I'll do it again. I'll make Cebu number 1 again. Anyway, everyone talks like that. Ang difference lang, I did it before. They cannot say that. I can do BRT. They cannot say that. I can do SRT. They cannot say that. They will just like, kutubras sila sa insulto. Okay na, normal man na. You can insult me all you will. When you die, you're forgotten. Just like Bobby Nazaro, just like George Rama, mamatay si Tomas. Mamatay kita ang tanan, pero sila nauna. So that's the way life is. I'm just happy. What makes me happy is when I hear about Isha Pasayan. She's a survivor of cancer because Margot and Senator Sorto was part of it. That she now has a new life. I don't need the medal. That's more than enough for me. And to her, it's super enough. Hilak yun siya. That finally I saved somebody's life and she's going to become a lawyer. What do you want the medal for? You cannot take it with you sa imong grave. This is the medals I want. You come to my house, I don't have any plaques of appreciations in the wall. None. None. I don't even know what awards I won. I don't care. It's the fun is not in getting the award. The fun is in being able to fight the battle. Wala akong thrilling ba? And in my mind, I can still fight because we are no longer the same time as our atong mga lolo sa panahon sa Jurassic Park. You have to fight the dinosaurs. Now, it's all mental. We're fighting dinosaurs. Different kinds of dinosaurs. Like Ayala, like SM, like that. We're fighting them. But they're not going to kill me. But it's hard. It's a big question of survival of Cebu. Ang mga dato, may mas dato, why problema niya na. Pero walang iwanan. That's why this prayer of the night is designed to help where I think mo kining atong opportunities karon na mahimong gamiton. I'm not dreaming. The call center is the biggest contributor to the urban poor. I've analyzed this. Ibaw nimo, you talk about tourism. So let's say a group of Koreans, 100 of them will arrive to Cebu. And the whole trip will cost them so much money, 100 pesos, 1 million pesos. Kung imo nga analyze, isa naka-quarter niya na. Ang tunga ang airline, dili mga sugwanon. Ang nabili na 50%, ang tunga niya ang hotel, dili ang ordinaryo nga tao. Kung ikaw ang waiter sa hotel, kung swerte ka, nakasa tumoy, makadawat ka og sweldo ug tip. Maura na. Ayaw tanaw ng tibuok, pero ang kining call center, ha, they do not, tourists will create livelihood 3 days, 4 days. Call center, they give you a job 365 days. And not only that, there's 150,000 of them here. And then, imo tanaw sa lista, wag ka makitang apelyido nga Aboitis, Lulier. Wala yun. Puros ordinaryo nga tao. Why guys? Wala yun. So, naka-benefit ang mga pobre. Di lang na ang ilang income, ang ilang sweldo, doble pa sa minimum wage. Minimum, 24,000. So, di lang na the payroll that goes directly to the poor, payroll is estimated to be about 4 billion pesos a month. No matter how many tourists you bring to Cebu, the urban poor cannot earn 4 billion pesos a month. Now, if we are successful with this mayor of the night, more call centers will come here. And there are many, kaya ang problema sa kining call centers karon, grabe yun ang presyo sa mga ahente. They cannot take 30% of them resign the first year. So ko ang mga call center kay gasto ka sa training. Ngayon sa training, said, I don't like this job, I resign. Sakit ka na. So if we can reduce this to, I don't know, 5%, then more of them will come here. Kaduha, naidaghang kayong mga tao maka-qualify sa call center pero di sila ganahan because the lifestyle is bad. This mayor of the night will make it easy. At taas pa ang sweldo. Kaya kining mga tao mga maka-qualify sa call center, they're now white-collar workers. Mga sila tellers sa bangko, sa office worker, niyan na. Now they will join the call centers. When they will join the call center, kung sa may tabo sa ilang position. Ang ordinaryong tao maka-qualify na. So, murag na domino effect. Kunin akong plano. So, we'll create better employment. We help the lower income group. And I think it's very exciting. But you give me banga like Mike Rama or Raymond Garcia. Di na ko, pusit na sa oras. Ayaw na lang. I'll just do my job as Vice Mayor, preside. Meeting adjourned. See you next week. Yan na pa. Okay ba na? I can do other things, no? But this project is, I'm very excited to do it. I have also, if we're going to do this, I have another project that's very small compared to Mayor of the Night, but it's very exciting. I'm going to put up a for call center agents who are single mothers. No? Ibaw mo, ang mga call center, nangita sila o qualified. Daghang nga qualified na single mother. Ngayon mo pa CPA pa diha, mga accountant, engineers. Of course, they want to hire them. Pero na silang baby. So, ang kining mga single mothers, so sa ilang trabaho, muapid na lang silang tindahan sa ubos, makakwarta sila o sa 1,000 a day, whatever it is. But they should be making more than that. So, what will you do? I'll set up a special center. Ako nag-istorya na ang usa ka call center. They'll hire everybody. Okay. Dakang kayong mga single mothers mo apply. Ang targeton mga 100. So, kung saan mahitabo sa kining single mother, we will put them in one boarding house. Economies of scale, usa ka kusina, They don't have to cook anymore. We will hire the cooks to do the cooking. We'll buy the food wholesale. Uh, they will have their own nursery. They will all go to work in a bus uh, together. They will all come home in a bus together. All the children will go to school together. They'll all come home together. So safety. And then the call center will pay the community para sa gasto. So kung ikaw usa ka sakop, bisan ang imong laba is done. Part of the deal. Bisan ang imong toothpaste tanan, no? Ang imong laundry tanan. So when you go back home, uh, you, it's all done already. Naandam na ta, luto na ang pagkaon tanan. Daghang kayong ganahan niya na. And there's no one who does this anywhere. I don't care. Ako gigamit og modelo ang Israelite model sa kibbutz. Sa panahon na when they started, daghan sila mga refugees gikan sa Amerika, gikan sa India, gikan sa Africa. They go to Israel because that's the promised land. So they set up refugee camps and they said, unsa man dito mahimo nga usa ka nasod nga of refugee camps. We have to do something. So let's start a commune. Optional, you don't have to go in, but if you have nowhere to go, you go to that commune. So they will ask you, what do you do? Then, I'm a barber. We'll put you in a commune. Mo nang imong trabaho. Just cut hair. That's all you have to do. Even your food is cooked. Even your laundry is done. All you have to do is do. What do you do? Ako panday. Okay, we'll put you sa usa ka commune na kinahanglan sila og panday. That's all you do. Mo ba? That's all. You don't have to go. You don't have to take your child to school. You don't have to do anything. Just do that. No? Because the others will do a sign. Basta he said, but the first kibbutz is 240 people. Risko kayo. You know how many advisors? 400. Mas lagahan ng mga advisors sa members because it's a laboratory. They're studying it. What do we do when I kleptomaniac we have, when I bandungon, when I sex maniac, whatever. They have to sort out all these human problems, how to set up the system. Let's change the bathroom. Let's change the kitchen. Because they're only working with one. So, dali kayong to change. Demolish everything and start all over again. Okay ra na, kay usara man. No? So, that's what we will do. We put up a boarding house and we'll have its own bus, its own transportation system. Para makita yun ang tanan. Ang kanang usa ka advantage in doing this sa call center, ako nakita, perting dako ang advantage is that's it's because all the call center agents are online. So you can ask them what they want. Padalitan. Example, akong istorya usa ka tagiya sa supermarket. Sabay, are you willing to open 24 hours? I said, no. Overtime, kuryente, tanan, no. It's not worth it. Sakto kayo. Akong ipangutanan. What if you're the only one? I said, I'm the only one. Okay. Okay. So I will contact all the 150,000 call centers. Okay. Pili ka. Metro Gaisano, Save More, whatever, SM, ayan, whatever. Both. Okay. Daog, Metro Gaisano. Ako doon si Metro Gaisano. Oh, you're the winner. You don't like it? I'll give it to second place. No, I'll take it. And I tell the people, oh, now you have Metro Gaisano as you want. Wala akong pakita. It's not difficult. No? Usa ka lugar nga sa IT Park Panalitan. Silang demanda, why silang pizza parlor. Okay, we know who you are. No? You vote. What do you want? Shakey's Pizza, this whatever. Election, daog Shakey's Pizza. Akong doon ng Shakey's Pizza. These people like you. Are you going to open? Okay? Of course, they'll open. But then, okay, you now have your pizza parlor. Bisan lang sa gabi na kay pizza parlor. Basta mga serbisyo, bisan dentista, obstetrician, gynecologist, you name it. This can be worked out kang advantage. They're all online. Kung mulisod ang barangay captain, kung mag-house to house pa siya, muhatag og forma, i-fill up this questionnaire, collect ang forma, kung i-tabulate ang mga forma, tamo kayo na. Pero computer all online, 1 hour you can interview 150,000 both. Oh, they all answer the same time. You have the total right. Yeah, salamat sad ko sa tanan, no? There are those that never lost faith in us na ako lang pakita kaninyo that we're ready. We're ready to do our job. One last time. Tapos manang ilang itawag ng akong movie, Tommy Once More. T-O-M. Walang self-serving. But one last time. That's after that, no more. No. But thank you very much, Leo. Salamat. Salamat sa tanan. Ha?
Pwede ipakita imong apo, Mayor? Masali, ang ikaduha na ni apo?
Di ang akong apo. Morning akong kalingawan. Okay? You say hi to everyone. Vote straight. Vote straight. You say, vote straight.
Kundi magpolitiko ang anak, Mayor, dili ang mga apo.
Wala, uy. Tinda mo, hisgot niya na usa lang atong issue ang kaayuhan sa siyudad. That's it. No? Everything else is secondary. Bisan ako.
Salamat, Mayor. Good morning.
Okay, thank you.
Moto si kanis Cebu City Mayor Tommy Osmeña nga atong kauban sa niaging dulan duha ka oras. Ug daghang salamat ni Mayor Osmeña sa iyang pagkahin og panahon uban nato karong buntaga. Gusto ko mo padayon sa atong programa pero mura og taas na kayo ang atong panahon. I'm sure atong mga viewers do na sa ilang kaugalingon nga mga kalihukan. So mga ilang pasaylo di wa na matiwas sa pagbasa ang inyong mga comments o ang kining inyong mga live comments kay I'm sure mamahaw na sa diha o niya doon na sa mga lain nga mga kabilinggan. Ato na lang i-reserve sa sunod ngayon. Pero salamat kaayo kani Cebu City Mayor Tommy Osmeña kabulahan nato nga nakabati ni kanhi Mayor Tommy Osmeña sa daghan kay niya nga mga pagtulunan nga gipakisaw-an nato karong buntaga kaanugon ni kanhi Cebu City Mayor Tommy Osmeña nga naigo in town sa liligwatay sa pwersa sa politika. Hinaot karong Lunes doon natay kahigayunan sa pabalik ni kanhi Mayor Tommy Osmeña sa pagduma sa Cebu City Government. Sakto iya sulti nga kitong tanan yang gipanulti mahimutong isulti sa ubang mga politiko pero wala yung politiko nga maka sulti nga ilang nahimo ang tanan niyang nahimo o ang uban pa niyang himuon para sa Subo o sa mga Subuano. Live gikan diri sa Bukirang Barangay sa Kasili sa Konsolasyon sa Amihanang Subo uban ni Dr. Iris o ni CB kini si Leo Lastimosa. Magpasalamat sa inyong pagpakig-uban. Mabuhi ang kamatuoran.